guard on the left and the right. We were talking about how you can use your unique player expression. We will see if that plays out like that in Hyde versus Ruben as we get underway right here. Already jostling for position. You saw Hyde opt for a fireball right there, and Ruben just holding forward, getting the nice jump over. Not going to get the hard knockdown, though, so they're just going to get not good knockdown there, so they got thrown out of there. But Ruben still holding forward, but 5C going to whiff on the croucher. One of the pain points for a lot of Terry players is that 5C just being a little bit temperamental in terms of when it wants to hit a crouching opponent. Run up with the throw. We can get some offense going with the empty jump low, cancel into the power geyser. EX power wave, but power geyser right back in the form of a reversal. Good tech on the throw there, but EX gonna beat out the regular power geyser, but we're gonna put ourselves in burnout, but nothing crazy gonna happen because of that. Just run right into the regular edition.
Can definitely see that. Just walking back, taking that spacing, making sure to take note of the jumps. Ooh, no. Kill frame. Full combo. Knockdown. Let's see what happens.
Level 1 excruciating damage done to Hyde early, but gonna have a chance to even that out there with the cross-up JB. Level 1 on the end of their own combo right there. Hard knockdown. Gonna start up some faint pressure. Gonna run up there, but got the wild punish on the attempt there. And Ruben gonna mash on out. Overheat. No chance for a super, though.
Exactly. Now you have to temper your expectations. Oh, just the back throw. Put him in the corner. Now what? Just gonna go through. Guard crush. Great job on checking the frame.
Yeah, very good stuff there. Noting that their opponent was liable to be guard crush in that overheat state. Gonna hit a great sequence there to make sure that they had no chance to get a way to fight on out of there and get that guard gauge cranked up. So really good stuff there by Hyde to force the guard crush and force a checkmate situation. We will see what Ruben does, but Ruben showed that they were the much more aggressive ones between the two of them. Hyde opting to play that neutral game. It did work out for Ruben early, but Hyde was able to answer very well with the Miku skin. All right, here we go. Jostling for that neutral position. Now being a little bit slower paced here. And now Hyde just going to go right on over with the hop, but can't get too much after it. But can get even more when you get a safe jump on the DP reversal. Ain't Hotaru, don't have the 4-framer, just a humble 5. And that's all you need to get an effective safe jump to close out round 1. All right, I do love this spacing here from Ruben. Just using that JD just to curtail the approach from Hyde. And now the 2C going to be able to get a whole lot of damage here. Overheat, however, not going to be quite enough to kill. So they're going to have to make this count offensively before Hyde can do anything to do what they did in round 1 and reverse the tables here. And that's exactly what they tried to do there. EX burn knuckle. And then the walk back into the far D, canceling into the level 1. All right, even more damage now, and that damage is going to be enough to take the set 2-0 over Ruben. Yep, once they got into the overheat state once again, Hyde just said all phasers are shifted to 11. I'm gonna make sure that you regret spending all that meter.
You have to pay for it somehow, right? But let's see how it goes right now. One of the overheaters, Hokutomaru.
Yep, absolutely going up against Shadow X and the Rock Howard. These are two titans in the KOF world as well. If you've seen any KOF 15 bracket, you've seen these two duke it out. But in this game, they've both been really good at getting that early advantage right now. And we're seeing who's trying to jostle for that early advantage, and it's going to be Hokutomaru with that very, very irritating air stall. But Shadow X finding the right time to challenge out with that 2B.
Those were some hurtful words coming out of your mouth. Like, you've been hit by that, I'm pretty sure a lot. But
yes,
look at that string just going into safe mode. Crazy. All right, just an anti-air. The recovery on those shurikens are crazy.
Yep, absolutely. Hokutomaru doing a really good job of being able to control the space in front of him and around him with those shurikens, and then also threatening that air approach with the double jump, with the teleport. So it's really hard to track him down. But when you do, you can get stuff like this. Nice place rev blow there by Shadow X. Gonna force him into the corner, but a good challenge out there by RINO, who's again taking to the air, threatening with that air stall. Gonna hit that overhead, but not meaty enough to get anything with it. But meaty hit with the wild punish speed.
Oh my god, he was just like micro up, got you, blah blah blah. A lot of tricky play coming out of Shadow X right now. The way that he's been switching up offense, using the EXs, you know, it costs and it causes him to have to stagger. But oh my god, look at the payout that just comes out from it.
Yeah, I think one thing that people do love about Rock when they're playing him is that he is pretty resource efficient. You don't necessarily have to crank the rev gauge to get your offense going, or really just vary your offense as well. But we tried to get a little bit with that EX Shinkunage one more time there, just a little bit too far away. But we're still in a really good spot here. Very commanding life lead and a really good position as well. Forcing RINO into the corner. Got the frame trap as well after the close B into the big ol' uppercut. Shadow X with the well-timed frame trap to C to get the first round or first game over RINO.
I don't think it's just timing. Timing is definitely a part of it, but like the mind games that this man was playing, he was like, "You're gonna press a button. I'm gonna make you press the button. Here you go. There you go. You press the button."
Yeah, absolutely. I think that really plays into what we saw the first two times we got into similar situations. They went for that EX Shinkunage command grab. That time they're just like, okay, I've represented it enough. Boom, it's time to throw the other part of the strike throw at you. But we're just doing all strikes right now. Gonna put them into the corner there, almost out of SPG too. And there it is. It's gone just like that.
Yes, and you can see that Shadow X has definitely been practicing against Hokutomaru's, like making sure to know their ranges, what happens after command jump. Because look at how many times he's already hit him with the micro walk right into punishes.
Absolutely. Oh, but great anti-air wild punish right there from Hoku. Gonna get a lot of damage here, especially going to that level 1. Shadow X does now have access to that SPG as they had it in the flux ratio. And the rev blow right there as well. Talking about the SPG, very rewarding right there in that interaction. And it cashed out into a level 1 to seal round 1 of game 2.
Absolutely. Trying to take that momentum and ride with it. Ooh. Just going for the stuffs. Stuffing out his offense. Keeping at range. Oh, picked his moment.
All right, gonna get hit by that anti-air again. Oh, try to go for an anti-air with the rising tackle, but it is hard to get that kid out of the air, and they are gonna send you right back down to the ground with the rev blow right there. So now this is where RINO can get started. And again, the air stall gonna go right onto the other side as Shadow X tried to go for the walk under, but just got hit on the dome piece by a fallen ninja. They fall out of the skies in these parts of Southtown.
Absolutely. And now he's just gonna take that momentum. He wants to go in with that supreme confidence. However, just gets caught by the errant command grab. Ruby Storm.
All right, good reversal rev blow to get on out of there, waiting on their time. Just trying to get on out of there because that strike throw off of that light punch was very menacing. Looking for it again with Shadow X. You alluded to it as well too, the mind games that are being put between the two in two very key parts with that strike throw, which is going to be really strong here. Wild punish far D, gonna cancel into the level 1. But yeah, just with that close A and then just baiting it out. The jump defend as well. Shadow X is just ready for the kid.
Man, Shadow X, that's something you pull out prior, not that far.
The ninja, no doubt about it. But sorry
Oh,
to say,
man.
Ryan and Andy have got you beaten.
Yeah, that is Shadow X right there. X coming out on top in that set. We're going to move into this next set, though, between Preecha and Billy Khan. So two characters in Supergrenas and EepyGirlWakeyWorld. Here we go. But starting off with the Billy Khan, a character that has given a lot of players a lot of trouble early on between the Far C and a lot of the really great plus frames that he can get on out of there. And then the big damage he's allowed on certain things, but dropping the opportunity on the DP bait there, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And look at the range just working on it. Just going to abuse it at that point. You know, there's something to be said about like newbie, quote unquote newbie killer characters, which I'll talk about in a bit after this.
Here we go. New to the streets of Southtown is Preecha, but gonna go against the guy who's taken over for Geese Howard, the man that's currently resting. But we are not showing any signs of peace warranted to any newcomers into these streets. Got to pay the toll. You got to check in when Billy Khan is in the way. But here we go, Revblow to get us out of harm's way. Good jump over.
The guy is a gangster. The guy is a gangster. Why are you making it sound so like, you know, oh no, you gotta pay your dues, my friend? No, this is Southtown. This is how we do things. Oh my God, look at the evasion. Oh no. Okay, just catches him on the wake up, going for the light shimmy. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, Billy Khan is one of those characters that are labeled as a very newbie killer kind of character. And yes, to a point, but at the same time, that just means that his kit is so good that you can just, you know, keep it simple, you know? So that's one of the things that can be very dangerous about these kind of characters. They may not be the strongest down the line, but they are probably the most efficient.
Yep, 100%. A very strong layer one as well. That Far C, the special with the 236, 236A, 236C, 236AC. If you don't know how to deal with that, it's going to be a tough time right there. And a character like Preecha, who doesn't necessarily have the best way. Oh, but Revblow to get right through there is a good way to do it because she does advance towards Billy so she can close in while utilizing the ultimate armor. And yeah, here we go. Here's the difference right now. Once you get in on Billy, you can take advantage of the fact that his defense is not the best. And Preecha's offense is nothing to sleep on. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, but not going to do too much talking while you're resting there on the ground comatose. Preecha taking the first round in quick fashion.
Yeah, I feel like EP girl, like, just basically, kind of got overwhelmed at that point. Oh, good wake up super. Gonna be able to go for the cross up. Doesn't go for it. Keeps him ambiguous. Catches on the low. Ooh, just again.
All right, I believe this is Supergrenas getting punished for trying to go for a hyper defense on that 6-2-3 string, and has been hit both times that they've gone for that. So unfortunately right there, we'll see if we'll make the adjustment, get another time to do it, but again, not gonna be able to do it right, and that's gonna be a lot of sticks to the face right there with EepyGirlWakeyWorld taking the round 2 off the back of some 6-2-3 shenanigans and going to continue it right now. And you have the plus frames in abundance with the EX Rev Art sequences.
Yeah, just taking advantage of that red flow, but losing that tool from the wake up super. Hasn't been timing those jump-ins, which is kind of surprising. Ooh,
yeah, I think safe jump windows are tough in this game, so you're not able to get them. It's very punishing, but punishing is when you get this EX Rev Art. Not going to do anything much with the supers in the back pocket there. Could have had a chance to get some more damage and a little bit more room on that rev gauge, which is now getting cranked up into overheat. And Miss Tricky smelling blood in the water because you do have to hit a button. Otherwise, you're going to get cranked out in the guard gauge, but really good bionic arm super on the whipped level 1. Good situational awareness and use of the toolkit for Preecha to buy yourself a little bit more time.
But you did see the crucial moment where EP Girl caught Preecha on like wake up. Supergrenas like basically trying to use the not wake up. We're using the weave string. And then
all right,
she's just like Taylor Swift in the NASA mission going, "What a wonderful world."
All right, we can talk a little bit more about the Swifties later right now. We got Romantic Style and Excelancer right now. Gonna be Hoku coming up once again on the screen versus Excelancer. This is a winner side top 25 qualifier, and oh my gosh, Vox Freaker trying to get their way to top 24 quick, fast, and in a hurry, but Romantic Style gonna get on out of the corner real quick.
Insane start to the match, doing so much work, but at the same time, just the way that Hokutomaru can get out so quickly. However, the anti-air make him pay for it.
Oh, but you're gonna pay for not having the right meaty timing right there. So now you're in the corner with overheat. Great anti-air right there, but that is a punish, unfortunately, for the heavy version of the roll. Going to be punished there by Vox Freaker. Gonna get the full combo to get on out of there. Didn't need too much more than a light confirm. And we're gonna see if we can repeat success here in round 2 for Excelancer.
Yo, it's just that Virtua Fighter classic, you know, the crouching light punch. Just get out of there. But right now, ooh, just DP out, trying to catch him on the meaty. Ref blow keeps him out there, pushing him towards the corner. However, great adaptation from Romantic Style.
Corner the wild punish confirmed. Very nice stuff. But we switch positions to get on out of there. Wild punish gonna hit once again. Got the counter hit on a challenging Vox as well. Gonna hit the far roll right on out of there. Got the counter hit. Couldn't quite confirm with the glass shattering, but we still are gonna get the wild punish. Force them back onto the ground and introduce them to the ground in the form of the EX command grab, revving up. Could have gone into level 2, but just couldn't quite get the time to do it. But we just run up with the lariat and get the game 1 in our corner. Excelancer, Vox Reaper taking it early in the set.
Excelancer expressed himself in that gameplay completely through his confidence. No, it's just the confidence that really came out. You know, you can see that Romantic Style definitely was like questioning some of the choices in terms of like wake up timings and what to do on advance. They did adapt on some of the jump-ins, which really netted most of their damage. However, yeah, you could just see the presence being on display from Excelancer.
Yeah, I think one of the main things that you want to see against Hokutomaru, who's very, very good when you give him any room, which is not being allotted to them right now because they are just absolutely getting hit with everything that Vox can throw at them. But you want to set the pace of the game early. You want to smother him so he cannot get to moving around on the screen. So it started early in game 1 with that air-to-air JA, shutting that down, just saying, hey, you're going to have to work a little bit harder than you might otherwise want to. And then we help fully capitalize on that. But we capitalize on the challenge here, does Romantic Style, to put Vox into the corner, and yeah, this is where things can get scary. But oh, try to go for the air-to-air once again, but the tricky movement that Hoku can do to change the trajectory, making Vox be a little bit more careful with going up for that JA.
I find it really interesting that Excelancer is using the jabs to anti-air to stuff everything. Going for that DP out, catches him on the meaty. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the way that Romantic Style is not able to establish shuriken gameplay from the start is really interesting, considering the way the Excelancers would smother him.
Yep, and having that XL ratio to have access to rev flow to really force that advantage has been really, really crucial here for Excelancer. So really good SPG placement by them, and really good placement of any attack right there, it feels like, for Excelancer. And then just catching them, trying to roll out of the corner, just saying, hello there, I want to talk to you real quick. Oh, but again, can't quite go into the super, but the overhead gonna find its mark against the rev guard. It switches sides, but does not switch block between high and low. And we are riding high into top 24 on the winner's side. Excelancer taking it 2-0 over Romantic Style.
So full of passion, you know. But
absolutely.
Ooh, Hyde versus Hokuto. Okay, I am getting messed up with this guy's name.
Yeah, Hokuto.
You can't
but
just be a guy's name Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Hokuto, but playing Vox. Like, what are we doing here? We got Yurikov, but they don't play Yuri. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
But here we go. It's going to be Vox versus Terry. Hyde coming back on stream once again, rocking the Miku Bogard fit. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do against Vox Reaper. We saw in the previous match that they were opting to be a lot more aggressive, and Hyde was really good at challenging that, and also really good at the throw bait there with the walk up into the hop. Very good stuff here. That is a very, very strong option, especially in those close quarters pressure with a character like Terry Bogard who can just get so much damage out of it.
Yeah, but you can see that Vox is keep closing the distance, trying to make sure that Terry doesn't get to throw out those power waves, doesn't make use of his long range normals. However, what a great neutral jump. Oh no. Baited.
Oh, yeah. That is so unfortunate of your Hokuto was trying to look for any chance to get on out of there. The throws were just whiffing, and they're just saying, you know what? I'm going to try my hand at the DP. Hyde was just ready for that. And as fast as the Vox Reaper train was rolling into the station in the previous match, this one is all Terry, all gas, no brakes, with Hyde taking the first game real fast.
Absolutely. You know, we were having those discussions before about maybe this game should be first to 3. I'm kind of seeing it right now.
Like, okay, so I told people as we get the frame trap going here for Vox to put him into the corner, command grab.
We'll save that for after the match.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more because, again, we don't have time to talk about it with how fast these two characters are moving and throwing bows at each other. All have to just defend on the DP bait, but they couldn't do anything with it. But here we go.
Knockups, keep on having it going. Look at all these bounces. Just enough damage. Oh no. We're gonna get the comeback. Hokuto just immediately rush punches. Command dashes in.
Yeah, they were definitely being done in by those empty jumps and just saying, hey, I want to eliminate the strike throw pressure by just being offense all the time right now. But here we go. This is where Hyde got their money maker previously, but good rev blow to get on out of there. We've seen Vox get a couple of representations in that Excel ratio, and you're seeing how good that early advantage has been against both Hokutomaru and now against Terry.
Yo, look at that throw game. That throw game mixing it in with a bit of that shimmy. I was like, ooh, that's a bit of the sauce. Thank you very much.
Chaotic, but there's structure, flow.
This guy beats you up and talks to you about jazz. This guy is just, I don't want to say mercurial, but he's just weird, man. He's a weird individual.
I mean, have you ever seen the movie Whiplash?
I have seen the movie Whiplash, and I love Whiplash.
Yo, that movie. I mean, once you watch that movie, suddenly you have a little bit of that. Like, suddenly I'm a jazz enthusiast.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting whiplash watching this match right now. We've already gotten one game apiece between these two, and it feels like we're going to get off and running in game 3 as well, with Hokuto getting a quick early advantage. And recognize that they were not going to get the full combo right there, so DPing on out of there and doing it one more time. How about that?
Crazy reactions right now from Hokuto, but the errant crouching every punch. Now what? Ooh, going with the trickies. I'm so glad that's not actually very important. It is useful though. Oh no! He tried to go for it, and Hyde just calling him out with that hop heavy punch.
The Wendy's 4 for 4 right there. It feels like they are just batting 100 with every time that they go for that empty jump and that strike throw situation, just going to run up and get that neutral hop and come down with the JB. But this time we're able to DP on out of there effectively, but Hyde's still able to get started. Almost caught the whiff on the 2C, but really good stuff there, recovering in time. But now you're going to get punished while you're in overheat, but we're DPing on out of there because time is of the essence and time is not on your side right now. Rev blow, empty jump low.
Oh no!
One.
He's gonna go through it. He took a step back. He knew.
That's so unfortunate. Thought he was Preecha, but just couldn't go through the fireball on the activation of the red line super. And that is Hyde taking it 2-1 real quick over Hokuto in that game 3.
But maybe for Oni top 8.
Yeah, that could be a good idea. We've been moving through this bracket pretty quickly. We are already in top 24 qualifier, and this top 24 qualifier between the TheGio, the Hokutomaru coming out again versus Green Tea and the Kim Dong Hwan, a character that we don't really get to see a lot of. So it's going to be really cool to see Green Tea represent with Mr. Dong Hwan.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of character unfamiliarity over here. Just going in for the feint to go for that frame trap. However, I'm gonna take in screen from screen.
Oh, the backdash on the throw attempt right there. Couldn't quite get a full combo. Maybe just didn't want to spend the bar, but it doesn't matter right there. Keep the change in your pocket and just go for a throw. Green Tea with a really strong round one to open things up. Got the early advantage and just didn't quit.
Oh, look at the arc. The way that he went through. Just catches him on the back. All right. Simple pop-ins. Goes for the throw. Curious that he didn't forward throw, but whatever. Probably better wake-up game on it.
Wow, perfect game there by Green Tea. Just really throwing the TheGio for the loop right there. It just seemed like, again, you were saying that they were maybe unfamiliar with what they were being thrown or what was being thrown at them. And Green Tea was just like, hey, you don't get to see this character a lot. I get to see your character a lot. I've been tuning into the streams. I've been playing ranked. I've seen enough of this ninja, but have you seen enough of the guy with the big pants in Kim Dong Hwan going up 1-0 right here? Green Tea looking very, very strong to open things up. But the TheGio, don't count them out. Top seeded for a reason.
Absolutely, but at the same time, just waiting to see how Green Tea is going to go past the gimmicks, because, you know, a lot of these first games are the litmus test for a lot of players. Just to see not just the way that the character plays, but how you play.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of, do you know about this? Do you know what I can throw at you? Do you know what I can represent with this character? Because we saw, you were alluding to the big arc to triumph, changing up the air stall like Hokutomaru can do. But here we go. We can do a really good amount of damage here with a wild punish opportunity. Gonna go for the soft knockdown here. The cross up as well. Good blocks. Go for the overhead. And now just taking the throw again. Because if you're wrong about it, Kim can make you pay. And like you were wrong about using that rev blow right there, Green Tea, good stuff again.
Yeah, and like, you definitely saw how big that hitbox is on that jump D cross up. Like, he's using the whole of his skirt to hit the guy with. Oh no.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to deal with all of this right now. Let me just level one. You saw them try to go. Oh my god, that whiff. You saw them try to go for that level one, but good JD guard cancel right there. The really fast special. It feels like him has really good guard cancel options in terms of his specials. They might not do the most damage, but they're really quick. They activate really well, so you can challenge gaps very well. And that's exactly what you can do right here. Got the hyper defense on the reversal super, and Green Tea is cooking. It are boiling hot right now.
Absolutely. Just catches him with those, like this hop kick. I'm not sure what button it is. I have to confess, seeing that it's not his brother that made it into the game really annoyed me.
Well, you're going to be seeing a little bit more of him as we get into top 24. Green Tea taking it 2-0. My goodness gracious. You guys were familiar with Hokutomaru. Let's switch things up a little bit. Kim Dong Hwan. But here we go. We're going to walk into the next match here between Kain and Oops All Hokutomaru. Going to come up once again, this time piloted by Yurikov. And on the other end is Erickof. A little bit of a
family dispute.
Family dispute, there you go. But first time we're seeing Kain on here, and character that many people put up in terms of character strength with Hotaru and Hokutomaru.
Absolutely. Not having to pay for those DP flash kicks with the breaks. But at the same time, right now, we have to see how Yurikov handles this, because he's not... Yeah, he's getting a little bit of the craziness. There we go. Just another jab check before the combo ender.
Round 2,
Yeah, the usual suspect in a Kain round is usually getting that light confirm into an EX hard knockdown. Raw EX lariat right there just to get up in the face, set up the orb right there, and the genie not going to be granting the wish of any damage after the fact. Great defense there from Yurikov to get out of harm's way. Great just defend on the anti-air attempt. But we still get the throw. Yurikov able to try to get something started here, but Erickof already making their presence known early.
I mean, you can definitely see how Yurikov plays different from like a bunch of the other Hokutomaru players. Definitely more methodical. Maybe not paying off right now, but at the same time, you can see it's very measured, it's very paced. Oh my god, but look at this crazy damage just going in. I was like, when I saw that hit, I was like, man, he's dead. I have to fill the air. I have to fill the air because there's nothing else to talk about at this point.
Oh man, we could talk about how good Kain is right there and representing himself. And again, I've been hammering this point home throughout all the Hokutomaru sets. Very, very important to not let the kid get started because it's very hard to stop him from disrupting the pace of the game. And you mentioned how Yurikov likes to play that more measured pace. And while that is very good in certain circumstances, that passiveness can open you up to letting Kain get started himself before you can get anything started, and you don't necessarily respond to it in a quick fashion. But here we go, responding to the EX lariat right there, a thing that was paying off against the measured approach previously. This time it pays off, getting the block and the throw punish.
You can just imagine Yurikov just getting annoyed face and then just going for that backdash right at round start. I've met the man, all right? I'm like, whoa. All the stories are true. It's awesome. But yeah, look at the way that he's going in right now. See, look at the way he's just taking his time. However, gets caught by the errant fireball.
Oh, I do love Yurikov's defense against Kain as well. And I'm also loving this wild punish conversion. Definitely feels like he is prepared to deal with this character and very prepared to deal with his approach. Sticking out the big old elbow there in the far C. Yurikov using that measured approach that you're leading to, not being deterred by how game one went. Just saying, I got my game plan and I'm sticking to it, but you can stick to the ground like some gum because you got some heel work to do with the close D hitting you on the other side with the wild punish.
You gotta remember that is a flash kick, so the autocorrect just came out right there. Oh no. Such a... Like, it's insane how much damage you get off that one move.
It is really strong. The average interaction against Kain is hugely rewarding because with the light confirms to go into that EX hard knockdown, really good jump out of the EX lariat. So two different measures of counterplay up against it, but a DP to get started again, set up the genie in the face of Hoku as well. So you can lock him down, which is really, really good against the character who's trying to just really just pollute the airspace and just give you all types of things out. But here we go, the run under 2B KOF staple.
No class.
Oh man. Just pollute the airspace. What a call there. But yeah. Just dash in, goes in for the low, big super knockdown. Now what? Anti-jump low. Just curbing his expectations.
I usually have tougher opponents.
Shattering those expectations, one could say.
I was trying to go for a curb your enthusiasm joke, but
that also works. I am a big fan. I am a Larry David fan, so I'll give it up.
Yes, absolutely.
Pretty good showing there from Yurikov there in game 2.
All right, 1-1. We have seen the adaptation. Oh no. That was such a simple interaction, but he just like running through for the recovery just to catch it. Yurikov is cooking.
Yep, here we go, but we're cooking on the other end of the kitchen as well. Erickof with a really good advantage paying off from the well-timed flash kick. And still now getting in that ambiguous spot, but Yurikov getting the right throw. Gonna get the punish on the other end with the flash kick and now being able to set up. But an early overheat is going to be very costly right now that Yurikov is able to go into offense.
Yeah, that was a great air counter hit into full combo, but now, ooh, same side. Good blocks from Erickof. Still has a little bit of overheat to work with.
Rev blow right there, and then meeting them up in the air, both traded, but Erickof had a little bit more resources in the health department, something that you can't really say stateside nowadays, but
damn.
but Kain gonna take the round 1 of game 3. Really good stuff there, trying to get something going here, and Erickof is getting the early advantage here, gonna cross underneath. It feels like they have really good answers to these air stalls from Yurikov right now.
Absolutely. Look at the crazy damage, though. I'm gonna have to worry. No, he gets caught. The little shimmy right into the jab, into the flash kick, blah, blah, blah. It's disheartening. Disheartening. Erickof going in with that atypical Kain pick.
That name, but they're going to be going up against Lokof and Mr. Marco Rodriguez, the practicer of the Kyokugen arts.
Well, if the analysis is right on what Yurikov should do, well, we can see whether Lokof gives him the primer on that exercise.
Like, Dylnyan is kind of spitting because I'm sick of these KOF players lying to me with their names.
Right, yeah.
But here we go. We're in the streets of Southtown right now. Kain not in KOFs, making them say, hey, you might want to put me in 16 because I think I could do some damage because I'm already doing some damage to Marco's health bar. Finding a good time to challenge, though, does Lokof with the far B. And now we're sitting at an ambiguous base, and that allows Lokof to get on out.
Absolutely, but at the same time, look at the way that Lokof is trying to keep... Wait. Damn. Kain in the corner. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. His name is hard to pronounce.
Yep, Dylnyan actually going to be able to put our name,
put
the name in. Yeah, Dylnyan, kind of like Dylan, but a cat boy.
Yeah, cat boy Dill. Okay, cool.
Right, here we
now
go.
that oh no! Make him pay. Take him to the corner store. Yeah. Make him pay for your M&Ms. Oh, the meaty. Yo.
Are you dead?
Oh no.
I thought he was dead. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was dead. But here we go. He might as well be dead. Good stuff there from Lokof right there. Got a huge chunk of damage off that first interaction on the DP punish, and then just really went to town while they were in the corner. Rolling out of the way of the Genie because they recognized it with a soft knockdown. But Lokof now gonna catch them with the closed D, just gonna run up right into their face. Boom, level 1 Shokoken overhead. Gonna go into the EX Tatsu, but unlike his counterpart in Ryo Sakazaki, this Kyokugen practicer knows how to keep his safe.
He keeps them safe. Just being like, you know, you just stop short.
True, Seinfeld.
Yep, exactly. And oh no! Chase down, gets kicked. Alright, I'm gonna call out somebody just because I want to. Nerdy, of course you know how to say the person's name with the neon. Jeez.
Oh man, it's pretty good. Lokof gonna be able to take the first game. Really, really strong stuff there, even after the opening from Dylnyan. It felt like Lokof was still having control of the matchup between the two of them in that first round, but it was just a case of Kain getting that first interaction and just saying, hey, by the way, you're now playing my game. But Lokof doing a really good job of retaining their pace control, just being slower and steadier and just waiting for Dylnyan to overcommit. And here we go, already challenging the gap there with the rev blow. Let's go.
Yeah. That's where they cross up, going throw. Ooh. Gonna make him bounce. Oh no, the bait. Rain kill catches him, and just like that. And this game needs first to 3.
Yeah, good stuff right there.
I think it should be rounds first to 3.
That would be interesting. I'm not really sure how that would play out, but that would be an interesting experiment for other organizers to figure out. Shokoken, in the face of the genie there, just going to try to give Kain something to think about, even on block. But here we go. The wild punish Tatsu into the rev blow to end things on out. And big damage here potentially into the hard knockdown. And then just catching them low. Marco putting you in the eternal state of 50-50s. And then going to put you in the eternal resting place if he can help it. Revguard trying to put an end to that, but no sirree. Lokof and Marco going to be able to just keep that shirt off, keep the suns out and the guns out, because they are blazing their way into top 24 as our final winner side qualifier. All those games going on right there. Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, CotW, and a whole bunch more. KOF, of course, KOF is going to be there. So definitely make sure that you are tuning in. And TNS will be hosting an English restream of the event. So tune into that if you do feel so inclined, because there's going to be so much action for y'all to keep track of. But we are going to try to keep track of what's going on here in this top 8 qualifier between Hyde, a 3-time stream offender, and Ryuki and the Rock Howard, who's coming up on stream for the first time. So actually, yeah, no, we're in top 25 winners, so not quite top 8 qualifier territory yet. So here we go. Boom! EX hard knuckle. Or bird knuckle, excuse me. I'm confusing the son and the father right here. Oh, but good challenge on the son's attempt at resetting into plus frames with the level 1. Hyde doing a really good job of placing those reversals, just knowing when exactly they can challenge on the gaps of their opponent's pressure, and doing it excellently in with that level 1 power geyser there up against Rock. All right, here we go. Kick butt indeed. We are absolutely making our presence known. Big old combo attack right there. Put him into the corner. Not a lot of damage, but putting him into a really advantageous position. Good JD on the other end, but just couldn't quite get the DP that they needed to after the fact. Maybe just a little bit late to cancel, not quite sure. Either way, it is going to be a lot of tax done to that health bar for your mistakes. Ryuki now evening things out here and challenging the gap of Terry Bogard. Yes, there is a gap in that EX Rev Art, or Rev Art sequence. So both of them showcasing their knowledge of their respective characters' offense and being rewarded for it, because that's how they take the round there.
Yeah, Ryuki with that Michael Jackson fit, coming in with the thriller right now, but at the same time getting him out of that SPG. Hyde trying to salvage it as much as possible. Oh no! Big punish time. However, mistimes the DP at the end, or actually missing for it.
Oh, betting it all on the DP once again. I was talking about how good they are at challenging there, but that does require some risk assessment. And you do have to try to risk it to get the biscuit, but this time the one eating is Ryuki in rounds 2 and 3 to get game 1 in their column. That was really good stuff there, just saying, okay, you're on the lookout for any gaps that I'm throwing at you. I'm just going to vary my offense. And that's what I love to see in this game. Just people being very strong at varying their offense, because there are a lot of ways to do so, and you're seeing what it gets you. Hyde getting a lot of different looks there in just those last 2 rounds alone. So they were able to punish the DP attempts when they were trying to challenge, when they thought they had a beat on what they were trying to do.
I love like, you know, making analysis after a player has proven you wrong about something. It's one of those things where you're just like, man, I was talking about this, but then he did this, which is great. Honestly, it's one of those things that just in commentary, it's that feeling of seeing like that adaptation come out, and you're just like, damn, I'm so glad I was wrong about that. Well, not wrong, but
it's just changing the game a little bit.
Yeah, seeing the adaptation. Oh man, look at the way that weave of that fireball. Threading the needle there.
Oh man, putting ourselves into overdrive right there. And oh my gosh, spacing ourselves right outside of the sweep with the level 1 power geyser. Great stuff from Hyde there.
What a great call, because if he threw out another fireball, or he went for that sweep, or even threw out a far normal, you're gonna get caught. The only option there was to just hold it.
We're gonna hold all this damage right now. My
Yeah.
goodness gracious. Hyde riding off the high of that previous interaction here. Gonna get the overhead, get the full conversion into the EX sequence there. And Hyde answering the call there from game one and just saying, Ryuki, I got a little bit something for you as well. One game apiece. Really good showing there.
She is like just blew past his SPG. Like, isn't that sad? That's why I don't like putting the SVG meter in the middle. I always, we'll have a discussion about that later. Actually,
Okay.
it's a very interesting topic to me.
It really is. So one of the things that it is one of the things that could end up being pretty important here. But weaving right out of the way of the mash attempt there, wild punish far D, and now getting a wild punish on the throw whiff, setting up the corner offense right now. Just gonna come right in, get the DP as well. Trying to roll out of the corner, but we answer right back. Not gonna be able to punish the EX result, but here we go. Got the wreck on the other end, and Ryuki good confirm into the level 1.
Damn. Yeah. Great job on that. Yo, guys, we're on our way to 2,400 followers. So, if you have friends, not saying that you don't, get them in here, show them that we've been having a great time at Just Frame Online's for City of the Wolves. And, with me and Zomar here.
Yeah, I know someone who's not having a good time right now is Ryuki in this round 2. Hyde already putting a big chunk of a deficit on the life bar advantage. But here we go. Walk back again, paying off right there, getting the wild punish, this time with the far B rather than the far D. And now we're in overheat as Hyde. So you're going to definitely feel that they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. So Ryuki going to have to watch out for that level 1 that they like to place. Trying to get it. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Sometimes you get called wrong on the commentary curse, and sometimes things will just happen for you and prove you right. Hyde, the power guys are once again coming in clutch.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Used it for the setup. Oh, gets DP'd out though. The run under. Man, I love run unders. So good. Catches him on the hop. Big damage. Goes for the frame kill. Oh. Just a little jab pressure right into the low.
Hyde entering that SPG territory, got access to the Rev Blow to get on out of the corner, meeting them up in the air with the JA though. Couldn't quite get anything off of it, so they bet it all on the level 1, but Hyde holding down back at just the right time, and that is going to be a 2-1 count in Hyde's favor. The master beats the student once again. A Terry Bogard going to keep on rocking in the winner's world. But we're gonna see how these two players are going to sort out who makes it into the next spot in top 8 winner side between Erickof on the Kain and Mr. Kim Dong Hwan Green Tea 321.
Well, there are 2 Kain players that we've seen in this tournament so far. So, maybe you want to see how Kim Dong-hwan gets in there. But right now, he is definitely working for it. Goes for the double jump, gets flash kick, but again, breaking it, makes it safe. Ish.
Oh my gosh. Found a way to get on out of harm's way. Great use of the aerial break right there to go on over and get them on the dome piece as well. Heavy DP break once again, very strong ding defensively for Kain. Gonna roll out of the way of the Genie just to prevent the block string to push them right into it and make them guess. So now we have to play the zoning game a little bit, and it's paying off actually, running right into the flash kick.
Wasn't able to get the full thing, but he just takes advantage of that Genie being thrown out and still in recovery. Blop, blop.
That caught the backdash. That is crazy. Kim reaching for the stars with that level 1 and caught them reaching with the throw bait, but couldn't quite get anything off of the JD, just a little bit too far out, get the full wild punish combo. So Erickof getting a second chance at life there after whiffing on that throw. And now you're seeing them try to create space a lot more, but Green Tea finding the right time to challenge them for even trying to step into the office of Mr. Kim Dong Hwan, because right now you are gonna get a whole bunch of damage done. HDP break on the safe jump though.
Gonna be very interesting to see the way that Green Tea takes advantage of these flash kicks, because ooh, very nice taco right there. Oh, okay, just gonna finish it off. But yeah, you know, every knockdown attempt has resulted in, yes, it is the right call for Kain players to DP or to flash kick or to jab flash kick, but I'm seeing the way that Green Tea is taking advantage of this, because especially like if you notice, the pushback from the flash kick actually benefits the way Dong Hwan's offense moves them forward.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about how the spacing setup is going to be different for Green Tea to take advantage of. It feels like they are very acutely aware of that as well, because they've answered very well. So you see it right there. Got the JD just right out of the way of the normal reset attempt there. Wasn't able to catch them on the way up, so that gives them time to fall down with the JD. Doesn't get the full wild punish combo, but again, you get started, and what you do when you get started, you get all this stuff, corner pressure that Erickof has to find a way to fight out of. Trying to set up the genie, got the flash kick baited, but couldn't quite run up to punish it. Oh, missing out on the opportunity to tack on a little bit more damage though. So Kim is alive and is gonna make you pay for it.
Look at the hitbox on that reaction. Oh no, the double jump. You thought I was just gonna block. Yep, he is. There's a bit of conditioning going on here.
Yeah, Erickof, it feels like just a little bit unsure of what game plan to adopt. Either that or they're just trying to represent two different paces to play at. Right now, they're opting to play for a very resource-intensive one that's going to put them in a very early overheat. And Green Tea sees that, and, you know, red lights mean stop in a lot of places, but for him, it means go. We're trying to get in there and get something started. Oh, but we run right into there. So good adaptation, knowing that they roll in a lot when the Genie's set up. So they caught them right there, got the counter hit, and then baited out the flash kick, or baited out the DP as well. And now gonna force them into the corner. And now we are in cooldown, have a whole bunch of rev gauge to play with now.
Oh man, I think Erickof had the right idea. He did put him in a very spacing specific situation in that corner. Yes, okay, he just won, so he proved me wrong. But the thing is that, yeah, commentators. But yeah, I think that Erickof had the right idea. It's just when he went for that jump back, that's when he lost that momentum.
Oh my gosh, the wall gunner, which is something that's really, really good against corner jumps when you're able to get that spacing where you're allowed to just walk on under it, get the punish on the landing recovery. Great stuff there from Green Tea for catching that and got a lot of damage as a reward. Gonna punish the sweep with a sweep of their own and then go over with the overhead, getting the dodge on the throw attempt, but couldn't quite get anything off of that. Good flash kick there from Erickof, trying to see if they were gonna reset after the ambiguous situation. Got the jump over, but just a little bit too high. We put flash kick on out of there. Oh my gosh.
Dear God. Oh no, he punished him right on that crouching heavy punch, but now he's just gonna keep on throwing, keep the screen busy, I'm feeling. Oh no. Tension.
Oh my
tension.
Gosh. Creating as much space as we can. Great jump over on the level 1.
Oh my
Gotta
God.
be very careful here because any chip could be disastrous. And now you don't have access to Just Defense, so you can absolutely get clocked by something. But Kim doesn't have access to a fireball, but he has access to a whiff punish in the form of a jab because the lariat caught him while he was still in the air. So Green Tea gonna get through the spaghetti and win a 2-0 to secure a spot in winner side of top 8.
Yeah. We're gonna see how people are. Yeah, you were yelled to. Thank you so much, Halloran. Oh, Marco just keeping his measured pace. Oh, never mind. Gets caught by the errant far C. Yeah, the
Went
chance.
for the rev blows on Red Skin. Gonna dash up into the throw. And yep, this is what we talked about the last time Lokof was playing. Got the first hard knockdown and then the 50-50 getting you started there. The low gonna hit, but now we find a great time to DP on out of there with the rising tackle. Resetting into the Shinku Nage even after the couple of hits. DP not going to land and not going to land there either. So you're giving Lokof a chance to get some damage done to you. And that is going to be a lethal opportunity that you've allotted him. Lokof with the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man. Okay, just deciding that after that errant heavy punch, he's just going to jump in. But now catches him on the landing frames. Oh no. Another DP? Now what?
Alright, yeah. Tatsu going for a DP right there. Couldn't quite get the full punish because he was still in the air a little bit early with the close C, unfortunately. And Shadow X is gonna pay for another mistake that they definitely wish that they could have back. But Lokof getting the early advantage here. Marco doing some really good stuff here.
Absolutely, very fast rounds. I have to see how Shadow X just recovers from that, what's it called? You know, the nerves that you get after you make a few mistakes that cost you a match.
Yeah, those were really tough mistakes. But again, it's just about settling. Again, they were, for the most part, they were keeping us, they were keeping up the pace there and just giving themselves the opportunities to win, as they're now going to up the pace right here and force Marco into the defense position. Great just defend into the hard edge, but it's just a matter of just correcting those mistakes right here and not giving Marco the chance to get started. Backdashing out of the way of the 2B and then calling out the mistake. Well, not the mistake, but the DP of Marco. And now this is how Shadow X can start to return things around.
Yeah, I can definitely. I don't think that Marco is one of those characters that needs the momentum, to be quite honest. I think that, like, you know, yes, you have to get those knockdowns, you have to work for those setups, but I don't think it's not like Hokutomaru where you have to be overwhelming from the start. I think it's just a matter of picking your spots. It's just a matter of, like, you fighting a Marco player. You have to be very stringent on not giving him any opportunities. That's all.
You're seeing Lokof, even with the health disadvantage, is just sitting back, and now got the Shokoken on the aerial Rock Howard, but taking to the skies once again in the form of a rev blow, and then converting into a level 1 on the other side of the JB cross-up. Now we're just going to try to jump on out of the low, getting blocked right there. And Lokof trying to find a place to do anything, but we found a great place to place that far C right outside of the range of what Lokof was pressing. And that far C, very, very good conversion ability right there. So the wild punish going to pay off for Shadow X there, as we are now even one game apiece going into game 3 in what we expected out of a showdown between these two titans.
It's really interesting the way that Lokof, you know, he was kind of projecting it with the way that he's been going for the extra crouching B. And yeah, Shadow X definitely recognized that and committed it into memory.
Yep, Shadow X we mentioned. Oh yeah, for sure. We mentioned Shadow X's adaptability in earlier into the bracket, and this is where it really pays off right here. We saw, again, I was about to say, to open things off, the JD into the hard edge, and now finding the right chances to place those far Ds and those far Cs to get the wild punishes, and now really get something started here. See Rapukin as well, gonna retreat with the EX aerial Rapukin, and now you're putting Lokof in a bind here, which is only going to get even harder for him to get on out of with all of this taxing done to the health bar.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that Shadow X recognizes that a bunch of these strings are not real, and thusly just taking advantage of that. but at the same time, oh man, no. Lokof not holding back on like his offense, which is kind of costing him.
Yeah, I was very interested because it seems like Shadow X has gotten a lot more liberal with taking to the skies because he's done a really good job of just defending the anti-air DP. So Lokof is just like, all right, well, maybe that won't work out for me because now, because of that, you're making him hesitate on the anti-air options. And so he can just come down with those JBs, with those JDs. But now Lokof going to be able to get something started here. Level 1 to create the hard knockdown so we can get started here. The airborne rock going to get hit by the overhead, so they're not going to be able to link into the Tatsu combo. Just going to run up again. And it just seems like Lokof is trying to figure out what to do to stop Shadow X from jumping at them, because the JDs and then also being selective with how they come down has given Shadow X a very easy way to get started. And again, JD hard edge.
Ooh. Oh man, he caught him at the end frames of that air fireball. Now what are you gonna do? The air replicant not working out. However, just catches him on that neutral jump. No fear from Shadow X, and he takes it. Here we go. 2-1. And you know, that's the difference between a high level player and a hobbyist.
Absolutely, but high level action going to continue right here as we now get into top 8. Robert versus Hyde here, winner semifinals. First time we're seeing Robert up with I think the homage to Cronin McDougal with the colors on the Hokutomaru, but Hatsune Miku being paid homage to on the part of Hyde, who has been the winner of 3 different stream sets. But Robert is another beast that you gotta overcome, and round 1 is an indicator of how hard of a task that is going to be.
Just a question: is this AR Robert? Yes, it is. I can see by the Twitter handle. Sweet.
Yeah, that is them.
Yeah, he does love his gremlins. That's why.
Good point. Yeah, we love to see the just defend, guard cancel, rev blow as well. So now, again, this is the dangerous spot right here. And they found another great chance to get the wave or the walk back into the rev, or not the rev blow, the wild
Tried to catch him on the roll, but he didn't get it. Oh, super rod dog, my friend. You just gonna get knocked down, and now you're in overheat. Oh no, Dan. Look at the way he's just shimmying you. Just chase down. Going for the frame trap. Catches him again. So little damage though. It's one of those things. Crazy. Oh my god. Just taking advantage of the frames on the break. Throw him out of there. And now trying to take advantage. Ah, he threw. Oh my god. Just hop over and throw him out of here.
Well-timed jump over on the shurikens and or the shurikens, I should say. We got Street Fighter brain. But good jump over right there. Both of them were in overheat, so they knew that they didn't have access to rev blow. They didn't have access to anything to really challenge that, and so they were just like, hey, they're gonna respect me a little bit more than they otherwise would have. So we're just gonna reset into the throw. And did we seriously get that into the hidden gear to reset the overheat? Great awareness there from Hyde, and now that puts Robert out of SPG.
That is such a great idea. The way that he just took that errant hit and he was like, you know what? Resource management. Love it. Oh no. Okay, take him to the corner store. Make him buy some Skittles. He knows he can't take the sugar right now. Throw all those? Let's see. Ah, man. Just the measured distance. Welcome to the spider trap.
Yep, no sugar because nothing's sweet when you're fighting Hokutomaru right there. Really good stuff there from Robert, and that was a barn burner of a first game to open up our top 8 right there between Robert and Hyde. So really the difference coming down to a couple of key interactions, especially when both of them were managing their resources and just being aware of what the state of the game was at that moment. Hyde with that really good hidden gear, but then Robert also being able to maximize their opportunities when they were aware of what was available to them and fully take advantage of putting Hyde in a putting Hyde in a tough spot to circumvent.
Yeah, I definitely see that, but right now, ooh, Hyde just going in for the immediate chase down. You know, Robert trying to pick his spots using the command jump. Finally gets the hit, but rolls out. Oh, jab pressure. Just interrupt. Wild punish situation here. Ugh.
Wild punish confirmed on the anti-air jab. We've seen a lot of Hokutomaru do really well with getting that anti-air RC. And another wild punish there, right outside of the range of the EX hard or burning knuckle, being hyper aware of the burst option, and then just gonna cap things off with the low confirm into the level 1. So really good spacing here from Robert. That has been the MO so far in this set. Hyde gonna have to give him something a little bit different to look at, because right now, Robert's just occupying the right spaces at the right times.
Absolutely, and going in with the jab pressure, but he caught him. He knew that he was going for that dash up follow up, and now just gonna evade the burn knuckle. No far punish, but let's see what happens here. Catches him on the interrupt for the dash. Oh no, catches him with the C again.
Just defend on the meaty, but not going to guard cancel anything behind it. So now we're playing the stall game. Hoku to trying to create as much space as possible. Level 1 going to go through the projectile, but not going to get punished on the whiff there. Try to go for the burn knuckle, but the burn knuckle of the EX variety going to put them in overheat. And again, both of them are in overheat. Went into teleport. I wonder if that was a bit of a misinput right there, because a level 1 would have sealed the deal. And now we got to deal with a bit of a situation similar to what we got in game 1.
Oh, just going for the tricky stuff. Crouching lows right into you. Oh, no. Getting caught by these crouching C's. However, just teleports in. Staggers the pressure. Goes for the shuriken. Possibly to catch a backdash.
Yeah, maybe just a safe ender as well, because you couldn't afford to really risk it. And
great job over here. Yes, I'm peeking you guys behind the curtain. You know, getting all this organized and reaching out to all the staff is a great time. But yeah, definitely just using that as an excuse. You have all these killers coming out here. That's the wonderful part.
Yep, and 2 killers on the screen in Shadow X and Green Tea as we get underway. Green Tea with the Kim Dong Hwan has been nothing short of exemplary with the character, and that JD, a big reason why, finding a great time to get those jump ins and getting the most out of it. Gonna come back down with the stand jab and then catch them rolling out of the corner and throw them right back into it. Green Tea is just absolutely running away with it in this run.
That cannot feel good. The way that we just ran a Mack truck on him and said, yo, you're gonna roll out, right? Yep, throw you back right into the corner. Oh dear. Okay. Little pickies.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The audacity to land the far C wild punish and then just say, I'm resetting into Shinku Nage because I want you in the corner is crazy. Yeah. And then you just got to answer with the DP. Green Tea ready for it again. Going to be able to get the full Rev R conversion, this time going into the level 1. What do? We go for the empty jump clothes D. And then again, that JD finding so much mileage. Oh, that slowdown betrayed the eye.
He's trying to make him pay for it. He's like, yo, you want to put me in the corner? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Ah! Shadow X picking that spot, getting the cross up and destroying.
If I'm Green Tea, I am furious that I got the slowdown on that overhead on the sweep and they still recovered in time to block it. And so I'm just like, man, what else do I have to do? But hey, how about we break into a JB right there in the aerial special and we just go right into some hard knockdown? Just defend Rev Blow on the other end, though. Was throwing out lights, but didn't challenge the Rev Blow with anything, so just didn't have the reaction built up. But we built up enough meter for the hidden gear. Gonna make full use of our SPG status.
Absolutely, and resetting everything. And I'm telling you, Shadow X is just gonna go into the tricky stuff, but he may not need it. Just enough damage right at the end. EX air replica.
Great stuff there, answering after dropping that first round. And again, we were talking about it in an earlier set. Sometimes Shadow X just needs a little bit of time to collect data, and this time it wasn't just one game; it was one round. Really, Green Tea looked like they were really they were poised to get a really strong early advantage up against Shadow X, but Shadow X just doing a really good job of curbing the strategy that Kim and Green Tea have been trying to represent so far. And credit to Green Tea. So far, that strategy has really paid off, but this is going to be the first time that we really have to see them sort of deviate from that, because Shadow X is going to demand that from them.
You know, I've just been, now that I realize, actually I'll talk about it later, but right now, yeah, Hop Kick City, just going for the measured approach. Look at the way he walks back, very deftly. And right there, you see Shadow X catching him, but just paying for it in the long run. Not full combo.
JD Revlo once again catching on to the habits offensively, being able to find the right time to utilize that mechanic, and then on the other end gonna go the Shinkunage into the level 1. But great run under once again from Green Tea. That has been something that they've been really good with in their run so far. We saw that in their set against Lokof, and then here we go, gonna go into the Rev Blow offensively, and then Shadow X is going to be eating another early round drop right here. But again, we'll see if they answer the call. But Green Tea doing a really good job of still switching up things in the playbook.
Absolutely. Right now you see that Green Tea, oh no. Okay, yeah, just takes advantage of the DP punish, but you see the way that he switched up. He's just going for those jumps. He knows those hops are a little bit unpredictable. The way that his hitbox flares out like that. Okay, hard knockdown, shimmy, just making Shadow X try to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, just going for those throws. Tricky stuff right there.
I really appreciate the fact that they became more throw oriented down the stretch right there, because they recognize that Shadow X is a very just defend oriented player defensively, because they are really good at the just defend rev flow timings. They're very good at canceling into heavy break and things like that. So when you're thinking about just defend, one thing that you just can't block is a throw. So Green Tea just going to give them a little bit more to think about, so they're a little bit more fidgety when looking for the throw. And then once you get that throw, you open up those hops that you were alluding to for Lissimo with those hop JDs and those hop JVs.
Yeah.
So the world is now Green Tea's oyster if Shadow X is allowing that to happen, but we will see how that plays out.
I mean, we can never count out Shadow X or any of the players, honestly, like the way that they're like, I don't think they're ever letting them go in. It's just one of those things where you're just like, the risk versus reward, all that stuff. But right now, just trying to fight out of that corner. Hwan taking so much damage. Oh!
Got the run under, but just couldn't quite do too much with it, similar to what they could have done in the earlier iterations of such a same situation. So Shadow X going to take that first game right there, making their presence known very early. But here we go, Kim responding, cross up JB, trying to chase them down, but can't quite catch them. Rev blow going to be the result of that, and then empty jump low to go into the EX sequence, and we're gonna spend it all because we're gonna get it right back in the form of a hidden gear refund. April 15th has already passed us, but we still get our refunds when we get them.
Tax season is over, but never stops in Southtown.
Yeah, I feel like Billy goes around for collections, like, very violently. So, that you could be spitting there.
I don't think he is. I don't think he would do that to a grandma or anything.
You don't think he'd shake him down?
I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, Green Tea
Billy
shaking
has
out
gotten better over the years, okay? He lost that mad look in his eyes.
Fair enough, but it feels like we have the look of fire in our eyes as Kim Dong-Hwan with a really good game, or round 2 here in game 3, and we're going right down to the wire here.
Yeah.
Shadow X gonna put them right into the corner. Wake up with the close D, and we're going to get a full combo on the other end of it. Potentially gonna be able to put them out of SPG, but not gonna cancel into anything, so that allows them the chance to get the rev blow. Empty jump low once again, going to hit layer or level 1 right here.
Just try to catch him for the Shinkonage. Ah, no, he got him this time. There you go.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The second time around, the Shinkunage gets us all. Nobody is immune to the Rock Howard command grab, and Shadow X is once again making it into winners finals. But Green Tea got everything they could handle and more out of them. So Ronaldo, currently a character right now that is sort of sitting in a weird territory, because I think a lot of people agree that he is good, but there are some people who are going as far as to say potential top 3 character. But again, we'll see what Kula can do with them. They've been doing a lot of good work with them, but Dylnyan, of course, doing a really good job with the Kain, who I think a lot of people have been unanimously saying is a top 3 character. And after this hard knockdown, you're gonna see why.
It is a lot about this setup that we're talking about for Ronaldo. You know, like having to get the ball out there and set up the spider web, so to speak. But at the same time, right now, Dylnyan just not giving any space.
You know, it's
Crazy.
very funny as we get the high evade into the level 1, but it's very funny how both of these characters are very like, we score that first hard knockdown and we go into our set play, and it becomes a very overwhelming win condition for the opponent to deal with. So it's just going to be a matter of who can score that first hit. And so neutral is going to be a huge phase here to see what they can do. And then once they get into that spot, can they traverse it? But right there, the low going to hit Dylnyan that was looking high, even after blocking the initial setup with the soccer ball.
I think Dylnyan was trying to go for just defend there. It's just that's how he got caught. You know, because of the tricky timing of the way that his Ronaldo's bounces work. Okay, just gonna keep it up there. Goes for the forward throw. Trying to keep him down. However, gets out, pushes back with the rev blow.
All right, well placed Oak right there, going into the level 2 red line super. Boom, right to the chest with the soccer ball. And now we just put out another one, get some Oki going. Send out the level 1 there, but great response there from Kula.
Right there, trying to go. Oh, didn't put him in the setup range. Tries to throw out the beach ball to keep him honest, but right now Kula is working his way. Ooh.
Going into overheat to try to go through the fireball. So now we're playing the fireball war a little bit more. Cool. Dylnyan actually gonna rev up pretty soon here, so they're gonna have to be a little bit more shy about spending the last of their rev gauge on a potential EX fireball. But overheat be darned, we get the jump in, and there you go. Ronaldo and Kula gonna take the first round.
The very honest jump in catches him high. Oh, man.
I fought to rid my whole life.
Okay, talking about hungry wolves and Ronaldo. Interesting, but yeah.
The win quotes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Very interesting that, you know, basically the way that Kula was like showing, look, my anti-fireball game is better than your fireball game. Like throughout the end of that match, gave that feeling of hopelessness and desperation that Dylnyan had to go in.
Yeah, big time. I was mentioning how neutral with a big phase right there. Ronaldo being a lot more quick and active with the soccer ball versus the fireball of Kain is really good boon in that phase for Ronaldo up against Kain. So that's really good stuff right here. But, you know, never mind. I was about to say, when we get in the corner, this is where Kain can get started. But great timing on the DP there from Ronaldo. Why does he have a DP? I don't know. He's a third-party character. We got to make sure that people know that he's a cool character.
No comment. But yeah, right now just going for the frame traps. Dude, that was not cool. You were like, either way. Yeah. Dylnyan taking advantage of that situation, going for a more measured approach right at the end there. You could see that he was keeping his distance, just going for max range pokes, and thusly not being able to be predictable for the DP. But right now, Then trying to establish dominance over the other. However, great jump in. Trying to go for the fancy footwork does not work out.
All right, this time not opting for any genie setups here, just going to go into the feint into the safe jump. So I like the idea there, just to make sure that they don't DP on out of there, and they have done a really good job of answering the genie pressure so far, but can they do it right here? Good challenge there with the jab, forcing them to hold down back a little bit more, but level 1 going to secure game 2 for Dylnyan, and that's 1 game apiece in losers top 8. Round
Your fame
1.
and fortune are both secure, and your legacy will long outlive you. So tell
Wait,
me,
what?
what is there left
I thought
for
it was 1-1.
It is 1-1, yeah. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, I heard secure spot. Yeah.
Oh, if I said that, then that's my bad.
No. You were talking about like they're fighting to secure a spot, you know. Look, it's 4 a.m. Sorry, 5.
True, yeah. A little bit more,
No, I'm good.
adversity
Don't worry.
But what's good is that we come down there after meeting up in the air to start the round there, and Kain gonna get the downswing from the jumping normal and just keep using this feint pressure to push Ronaldo into the corner and try to get them to challenge out with something just defend. But again, going right underneath the corner jump in, that's something that's really, really good against jump pressure in the corner. So really good spot to put that into play there. And now Kula gonna DP, give themselves the chance while Dylnyan is an overheat.
You know, it's really interesting. I thought that Kula was gonna show some sort of setup because of the way that Ronaldo's soccer balls work. After the hard knockdown on the VP, I really want to see what the potential comes out to. But just the jump in, gets flash kicked. Always be charging.
Always be charging, and look, betting it all on the flash kick right there. And overheat, we didn't have too many other answers right there, so we just go on and just do the darn thing. And you see how it paid off here, and we're gonna get a good payoff here. Even after spending the bar on that level 1, you can still keep up the offense, but again, really good times to chart or to bet on that DP. Kula's done a really good job of finding the great times to challenge and get started on offense, but not gonna have a lot of time to do that. They're an overheat, and Kain is throwing them with the good old 1-2.
Absolutely. I think that rev blow earlier was a very crucial moment to show that, you know, as long as you're an SPG, you can force Kula to just hold it and not. It's like, seriously, as a person who has come out before, this is exactly what it feels like to be able to celebrate it without being ostracized for it.
That's fair, low-key, because like it's cool to be an SNK fan now. It's very cool. Like it's in. It's popular.
Totally, it's cool. But yeah,
yeah,
let's go right into this match. This is a match that I've been actually very interested in seeing because the toolkit for Kain really can be problematic against Marco.
Yeah, I definitely could see why Marco definitely having to traverse a lot of the stuff that Kain has to put up on the screen. However, on the defensive end, even when Marco gets started, they have to respect the flash kick. And oh my gosh, we're not respecting anything right there. DP right in the face because they knew they were going to try to take their turn back after the Tatsu. But again, the flash kick coming out there from Kain. And can we get a full confirm there? No, we cannot. So we just put out the genie. And we're using these step dashes very well. The placement of our step dashes are going to be really crucial in terms of how we can get a chance here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see the way, like, there's something about the way that this game works in terms of, like, it really leans into something that I like to point out, which is trigonometry. Because the way the angles that Marco has to navigate throughout Lokov's, Kain's fireballs, and the way his genie works as well is like something just very hard to go through. But at the same time, yeah, the dashes that he can do. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, definitely finding the right place to put those options is very key here, and I think trigonometry is a very good way to put it. We're gonna put our heel right into the face of Mr. Rodriguez with the flash kick once again. So Erickof finding the right chances. Well, I was about to say the right chances to put the DP, but the bait right there from Lokof gonna make it whiff, and it's gonna make it hurt as well, as Lokof gonna get the full cash out combo to take game 1 here.
Bam, bam, bam.
Wow, sir. So yeah, Marco Rodriguez, again, give him the opportunity. He will make you pay for it. And
Yep.
definitely Lokof, I think we saw that in an earlier set from him. Notice that, hey, I am going to have a hard time getting my shots to... I'm going to have a hard time getting my shots if I'm not careful with how I approach it. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. No more Kain.
Oh no.
Folks.
Uh-oh.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Salvatore comes in and takes the stage.
Oh my gosh. Salvatore Ganache going to be a counter pick for Marco Rodriguez here. All right, Eric, let's see what you can show us here.
It's gonna, you know, this is a curse again. It happened again. It'd be like, oh, it's gonna be a problem for Marco. But being forced to go for the counter pick right now. Let's see whether he can get any of that cook going in.
You know, I'm starting to see a little bit of the rationale behind the counter pick right now. I believe it's literally just a mental thing, because I feel Erickof felt like they were being super liberal with their use of the DP, and it got them killed. So they switched to a character that didn't have one. So unfortunately, on the other end of that, your defense goes down a lot, and against Lokof, that can really be a hindrance. So you're seeing that right now. But here we go, JC to get started, but a bit too high on that one, so we DP on out of there. And also, your light confirms are nowhere near as good as Kain, so every interaction is not going to be as rewarding. But we'll see what we can do here. Great cancel on the Revlo to go into level 1.
Yeah, but at the same time, like right now, Erickof, there is debate on whether Salvatore is a lot less, you know, people who just want to enjoy being part of the tournament. This is really one of those shark-infested waters that you come into, and I'm just excited to see how much Just Frame grows over time for that. But right now, we're talking about Dylnyan versus Green Tea. Dylnyan getting the start, but Green Tea now in the advantage. Both of them out of getting him out of SPG. Dylnyan gonna have to come back, but he's gonna have to be a little bit stringent with those flash kicks.
There we go. The flash is gonna get braked right there, but we find a good place to place the sweep to get out of the pressure that was going to be put on after said break. And the Green Tea going to be able to get that first round going. And yeah, that's what we've gotten a lot of. Green Tea getting that first advantage and just seeing how far they can take it and if their opponent can adjust accordingly. And Dylnyan trying to figure out a way to create space right here. I believe we saw Green Tea have a really good game plan up against the Kain previously in the bracket to get to this point. Dylnyan going to have to really give him something different here. Had the touch right there, though, but couldn't quite get enough off of it to make it really, really count. So Green Tea given another chance at life and a chance to put them into overheat and a chance to bait out the DP, but couldn't quite get the close D combo, but can try again after the level 1 is baited as well. So 2 reversals not working out here. Green Tea gonna work out here, but not gonna be able to cancel into anything else because they themselves are in overheat and they get hit by the reversal level 1 again.
Yeah, caught him on the backdash. You can definitely tell that he is taking advantage of that knowledge of, you know what, you're gonna try to bait out my DP, but instead, just chase you down with that super. I think it's really good mentality wise. You can also see that Dylnyan is using just one jab into flash kick, which is a subtle difference, but it does create that space. creates that space that he cannot take advantage of. Green Tea, that is.
Oh yeah, tried to hyper defense up against that level 1 super, but it still was able to put themselves in the overheat. Good anti-air into the wild punish though. Can't convert it into anything that would kill, but still being able to force them into the corner. Oh, but the sweep from Dylnyan to get out of harm's way. The EX Lariat gonna clash with the normal from Kim, and the trade gonna work out in the favor of Dong Hwan. So Green Tea up 1-0.
I don't think Dylnyan. I think Dylnyan kind of just went, "Oh, come on!" right at that point.
Pretty much, yeah. There were a lot of things that were just like, dude, what do you want from me? What do you want?
No, I mean just like the active hitbox of that move. You know, it's just like the hyakuretsu, so to speak.
Alrighty, game 2 underway here. Gonna go overhead. Gonna clock them right on the dome here. Not gonna do anything too much to press the advantage after the fact. Good dash out of the way of the faint pressure, using the rev guard placement to create some space and then try to get a potential wild punish opportunity. But we're gonna get the reversal opportunity to pay off here, and then run up with the close normal, unafraid of any potential flash kick wake up from Dylnyan there.
Yeah, I really like the taco into the hot C attempt. However, not working out. Just gonna take it. Oh, just stepped up right into him. However, trying to get past the flash kick, just goes for the double crouching C's, catches and does the super. Simple.
Keep on swinging, baby. Just keep on swinging. Throw out them hitboxes and it'll work out eventually. Here we go, though. We're going to throw out some hitboxes in neutral in the form of the fireballs and the genies, but Green Tea going to keep holding forward so they don't have to deal with that. So really good stuff there from them, but the rev blow going to catch them doing something in neutral, but either way, you are going to pay for it very handsomely.
Yeah, close to coast, corner to corner. And the way that he's just staggering that pressure, not overcommitting, forcing Green Tea to have to pick his spots. Catches him on that DP, now what? See, he's trying to go for it. He had to spend all that meter to try to make it safe.
Alright, the cross up right there, forcing them into overheat despite blocking it. So here's the tough part. We're going to be able to cancel into level 2. A lot of resources being spent, but you pay the premium to get him on out of there and give yourself another chance to take the set. 1-0, but it's 1-1 in the round count, and Green Tea wants to make sure that this is the last one that they play.
I think that Dylnyan was actually going for a just defend attempt at that point. That's why he got caught. Because he was blocking everything. Oh, just stagger right into the overhead, but it's not working out. Let's see. Oh, again, that close C just pays so much dividends.
Yep, catching the landing recovery on the other side. Dong Hwan gonna be able to punish them for jumping at a tough angle, something that's a very useful skill to have in these games. And you're seeing. Did we get a change of costume from Hyde? Yeah, because he's got the jacket on now.
It's like no Miku stuff for this.
Oh, yeah, but we're going to get a full punish right there. Marco must be a fan of Miku because he did not take kindly to the change in attire. And right now, making them pay for it right now and going to make them pay for
the hate on the trip.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine just such vitriol being put on display right now? However, we see that Hyde just being tricky, catches him in mid-air, goes to the air recovery into the crouching heavy punch. But yeah, let's see. Oh, just catches him right for the throw at the end.
Yeah, I can understand the vitriol based on how a character dresses because that's how I fight Shune in King of Fighters 15. I hate the way that he walks, the way that he talks, the way that he dressed. You know, shouts out to Euphoria for the one time. A lot of Euphoria going to be experienced for Lokof, however, going to get the overhead to hit in a way that's meaty enough to combo into the EX Tatsu, put them in the corner, but the back throw on the other end going to force them to commit to a defensive option to reverse fortunes, and the DP going to find its mark here, but Hyde still fighting back. EX Bird Knuckle canceling into the throw on block, and another throw right now. Lokof on the back foot, but still get a challenge in a safe way with the jab here after creating some space with the Rev guard. And the anti-air DP bringing as well. Level 2 going to be what calls, or what brings it to a close here. Lokof 1-0.
Yeah. You can definitely see, like, you know, the way that Hyde was using the EX Fireball to basically just take another chance, and you can see that Lokof just a lot of patience on display there. It was not a question of trying to take back your turn, but more so just taking advantage of letting Hyde wear himself out.
Yeah, I really do love that. We were talking about a lot about Marco and rewarding selective patience in their pilot, and you saw it right there, just being like, again, biding time, waiting for Hyde to commit to something and making a mistake, and that came in two very key interactions: that DP bait, and then when they were trying to reset their pressure, boom, you're just getting on out of there. And Knife just defend into the DP, and then run up into the Rev blows on Redskin is really showing.
Look, he's just being wild. Okay,
he just wants to kill you right now. He wants to
just
kill
wilding right now. Oh man, look at the way that. Oh, okay, yeah, he's just like baiting. Is with that classic Rio tactic where you throw out your light DP and just be like, oh, why didn't I punish that? It's very hard to do. People don't realize that.
Yeah, it's very quick.
It is possible. Yeah, it's so quick. It just makes you go, wait, why did he use DP at that point?
Ending with the air rev blow, the hard knockdown, put them in the corner. Nice hyper defense up against jumping over, or the jump attacks, but Lokof once again just saying, nuts to that. We are going to go in and we are going to go hard.
Just happy little hops from Lokof, doing those little DPs. But right now, stops him. Oh no! Catches him on the crouching C. Power Gazer. Now he's going for the frame kill. Oh, he doesn't take it. There we go. Again, patience on display and winning it out.
Yep, waiting out the Rekka 2 from Terry, so they got that punish opportunity. I did love what Hyde was doing there at the end, calling out the challenge attempt from the. We're gonna go to Kain's estate here and get the showdown. First to 3 for the first time this bracket. This is what you've been asking for Felicimo, and you're gonna get it.
Oh yeah, definitely. But ooh, this is gonna be one of those high pressure situations. Shadow X gonna have to take out Robert after this onslaught, and he catches him on wake up. No, not a bad such a bad situation to be caught in. However, he goes for the DP right at the end. Interesting choice.
Level 1 to get on out of there. And now just gonna try to be a little bit of a nuisance by just air stalling. And Shadow X is trying to figure out what to do. And just couldn't quite figure it out there because just ran right into the falling normal there from Hoku. And I say that like it's such an easy thing to do. It really isn't, but you don't give him an opportunity when you just run up in round 2 and clock him with a JC.
Catch him again, just throws him and now gets him set up. But oh, I love that little micro walk right into the EX hand grab. Chases him down, goes for the far C. However,
challenging Shinku Nage. They know they love that command grab, but they love it too much. You don't let the flame die out. When you love something, you cannot let it go. And we are going to continue the Shinku Nage until morale improves. And we are feeling great in the company right now with the round 2 victory.
You have to realize you are promoting somebody's love for toxicity with the command grab.
It works. And look, and we're not promoting healthy habits. We're promoting winning habits right now. But Robert getting the win in their column there in that interaction right there, getting the cross up with the JB and cashing out into the layer 1. Gonna opt to create space and go into some shuriken pressure. Very interesting.
Okay. Oh, try to catch him on the side switch, but a little bit of a punish there. Not enough to warrant anything. There we go. He's just like, you know what? I'm in the life lead. I don't need to overcommit. I will make you pay for it.
Absolutely. Game 1 going to Robert in the Hokutomaru. And I want to point out, somebody in the chat said this is Tyler Blevins Hoku. Mods, get rid of that guy right now. Get rid of him right now. That is Cronin McDougal, I believe, but it is not Tyler Blevins. Get them out of here right now.
No familiarity for this game. Oh my god, bro. No, you can't do that.
We kid, of course. We love seeing Ryuki. I believe they were on stream with the Rock Howard at one point, and they did a pretty good job. So we love.
Talk about constantly being in 9th place or something.
Round 1. Get ready.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. 9th place. Again, we talk about how hard it is to perform well in these brackets, but here we go. We're going to see who gets a podium finish. Well, actually, both of these are guaranteed a podium finish, but we're going to see who gets the winner side of grand finals here. Robert in the early advantage, but right now, the Shikunage once again going to land, catching the red blow from Hoku.
Over City. Oh, man. Neutral jump, low. Hello, sir. Why are you being such a meanie?
Hello there.
He was like you. You know how many ways I can catch you on wake up? I can catch you low. I can catch you in the anti-low.
Unbelievable stuff right there. Got them with literally every trick in the arsenal right there. And now fully opening up the box there in neutral with the walk back into the far D. A very popular tool utilized there by Rock Howard players and very strong because of the wild punish reward that you get from that. And you already see what that has done to Robert. They can't just sit back and play the air stall game. Now they got to interact a little bit more, and that's playing right into the hands of Shadow X.
You can definitely see that Shadow X is getting used to the timing of the way that AR uses his command jumps. That really helped out because that one shimmy really just turned the tide.
The speed of a ninja.
Shadow X, again, you give him a game.
Yo,
and you'll figure something out.
You know, I start talking about toxicity, and then suddenly there's Iori in City of the Wolves chat going on in chat, and I'm like,
yo, true.
Oh, you guys.
True. Can we get a true emote? True.
Y'all are actually scumgale.
And that's exactly what Shadow X would do. That's what he would do if Iori came in the game. Just EX Scumgale, that would get a full combo. Like, you already know the vibes.
Yeah. It's just like, put my boy in there. Yeah, I dare you.
Get ready. Fight.
Just put
Check
13 Iori in there. Just to throw everyone off. And then just call him Freeman.
Oh, no, real spiel. Ooh, just defend guard cancel again, going into the EX hard, or just the light hard edge, excuse me. Created the counter hit opportunity to get the full combo, but Robert still being able to fight out and then get the forward throw to reset back into neutral.
Okay, forward throw, just gonna set things up. Oh my god, caught him in the air. It's a little bit unfair, like just how much air conversion potential that Hokutomaru gets.
That's definitely a very strong asset in his toolkit. One of the things that's very hard for pretty much every character in the game to contest. Even characters that are very high up in character strengths, such as Rock or even a Hotaru, can have a really tough time playing that game against the pace disruptor that is Hokutomaru when he gets into the air. But Shadow X doing a really good job of taking out some of that life bar right there. But Robert answering back, level 1 into the hard knockdown, but you are now dealing with Rock Howard in SPG. So Rev Blow is on the table here. Oh, and especially a whole lot more damage as well now that you whiffed on, or you got the block on the special there.
Yeah, caught him with the errant stand D, just catches him on the back dash. Full combo, big problems. Okay, ooh, little jump back. Let's see what happens here. Catches him. Then B link right into the plop plop and then going in. But however, just fights out. Catches, just goes for the errant straight normal into super. Interesting.
Really cool stuff right there from Shadow X. And now Robert, now having the health advantage, is going to be able to be a little bit more tricky with the air stuff without having to be overly committal. But what a great trip guard with the 2B and converting it into the level 1. Oh, try to catch them twitching because they know that they love to go for that Shingunage after that far B. And try to catch him low, but nobody budging and nobody home for Robert. So now they get the opportunity to convert into a potential level 1, and that's exactly what they do here.
Yeah, I can see, like, Shadow X took advantage of that dash up because he knew that he would go for the stand C, knowing that he can do the anti-air. He can either go for the air conversion or just go for the usual pressure. And the way that Shadow X just took advantage of that with the backdash, that was pretty sick, pretty sick. However, AR Robert taking that match, and now they're gonna go one more.
Yep, the EX teleport
one
gonna
more
work
for
out for Hoku.
Robert.
One more game for Robert to get into winner side of Grands. EX teleport paying off right there. We're talking about how good he is when he gets to play that pace disruption game of just being like, hey, I'm hanging out in the air, come and get me, and then bam, EX teleport, and you're not ready for it. So I think that's really the first time we've seen EX, or one of the first few times we've seen EX teleport be represented in that scenario from Robert. Normally it's just the regular air stall, and that is just it. And Robert just, again, having the ability to vary what they're doing to represent that character in that.
Oh, great jump in.
Oh, yes, that was nice.
Yeah, just throwing him into the corner now. Let's see what happens here. Little bit of a spaghetti situation, trying to take advantage with that red blow.
Oh, the jump back! JC! What a good wild punish there, catching a run up from Robert. Oh, had the opportunity to get a little bit more damage on that interaction as well. Fardy going to hit, not of the wild punish, so not going to be able to do anything much short of a super confirm, but the super going to come out for Robert, who goes into the level 1 and catches them with the hand in the cookie jar. The walk back into the wild punish. Good stuff from Robert here, who is now sitting at set point.
Absolutely. Oh no, he ran right into it. The neutral jump with the cross up. No, just going to take that space. Runs up. Knew that Shadow X was going to try to account for the stand C, but he goes low. However, here we go.
Barbie Shingunage, the GOAT. It's been working out so great. And now we get the close B frame trap right there, but the first hit gonna connect, so we get the natural combo right there. The link gonna work out for Shadow X. Buys himself one more round and potentially can buy himself another game if he can do it here in round 3. We're fishing for that walk back once again.
Oh man, close C right there. Okay. Going for a soft knockdown. Try to account for the rollout. Oh, here we go. No, this is establishing dominance crap. Oh no, this is gonna be problematic.
Matching out maybe in anticipation of the command grab, but Shadow X gonna actually make Hoku do something that not familiar with, trying to come to them, but finding a really good time to place that sweep on the grounded approach of Hoku. So Robert had to find their way in and make up a large deficit in the health bar, and just had to commit to something, ran right into the sweep, and Shadow X posting a perfect to get to a game 5 in winners finals.
Dude, the way that he was evading every hit at the end there, like, accounting for, like, basically backdashing when he knows that he's going to run in. You know, doing all those whiff punishes. That was some very nasty play right there. I think that Shadow X. I think AR Robert has to be careful because otherwise he's going to have Shadow X living in his head for the rest of this match.
Yep, absolutely. It's just going to be a matter of can Shadow X keep putting them in that position to where Robert doesn't get to be the pace disruptor that Hoku is so good at being. Again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse by saying that, but that is clearly the big specialty of the character. They want to make sure that they can just suddenly just say, I'm playing the game how I want to play it and you have to deal with it. But Shadow X, when they can get into the position to force that strike throw game, because that far B Shinku Nage and then the close B frame trap paying off dividends, and it's gonna be a good chance to get it right there, going right under or right underneath the EX teleport and then catching them on the roll, gonna hit them with the good old C, and then level 1. What do we do here in response? Fight out once again with the 2B, so maybe Shadow X can catch on to that next time around.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow X is just casually walking back, and see, he's doing it again. This time, AR Robert caught him with the throw. A little bit of an adaptation, but the rev blow. Oh no.
That is so unfortunate. Got the close C into feint. The combo opportunity was there, but they reset into throw. I think that was top of mind for them because that was the last 2 interactions that were won by them prior to that. So they weren't quite ready to confirm the hit. But that has got to be something that Robert wants to have back. But we're still going to go into the throw here. Looking to be a lot more of a piecemeal approach rather than trying to get it all in one. Just get that early advantage and then force Shadow X to play the committal game rather than just trying to fish for a home run hit here early.
I mean, that rev blow covers both options. So it was like just one of those things where like you have to hold it. You cannot approach with anything. The best thing you can do is run up and do nothing. But in that situation, like, it's just problematic and hard. But the DP punish, this is gonna be a dead Shadow X.
Man, that was very much a I'm up around DP right there. Let me see if I can just get a good challenge here and then just try to steal one from you, but nothing doing. Robert, again, being able to sniff it out. Oh, but we're sniffing out the throw whiff right there, backing up into the far C. Wild punish once again, gonna only go into the level 1. So the next hit could be disastrous because they still have meter in the back pocket and they'll spend it on the empty jump into the level 1 one more time. And then of course, what else can we expect from Shadow X but the Shinku Nage of truth? Best grappler in KOF 15 during the Southtown patch, and now that we're back home, is back on the menu. Shadow X securing Grand Finals winner's side with a 3-2 victory off the back of the good old reliable. And strike throw pressure being as deadly as it is, so they could just go into an empty jump into or a quick neutral hop into JD, or the other way around where Lokof scores that hard knockdown and employs the strike throw game of their own. So we will see what emerges victorious here. Right now, Green Tea emerging with the early health lead and then challenging with the low right into the EX special. So Lokof now sitting in the orange while Green Tea's sitting really pretty, but that seat is getting a little uglier right now because things are getting real in these streets. The burning stage in the background and Marco burning through that health bar little at a time right here. Getting the good challenges here. Dude DPs back to back. Shokoken catching the falling Kim Dong Hwan. And then the just defend DP not going to work out on the safe jump. So Lokof being able to right the ship, even though it was on the verge of teetering into the water in round 1. Rev blow is on the Redskin. Crazy stuff right there. Good answer with that, but a good answer with the DP as well from Green Tea. Now just jostling for that mid-range space and really good stuff. Both of them are grounding, so running up with the sweep was a really good idea right there. Gonna run right
catching
up
with the sweep, throwing into the corner, and now, ooh, predicting the low, getting the jump. Just the daddy specials. Blah.
that strike throw game. Just go right into that JD when you're catching them, doing all the grounded stuff. That's the last thing you're thinking of them. Just clock them right there and then get the full combo after the fact. Soft knockdown, so it gives him an opportunity to roll right back into the mid-screen. Great jump over the fireball.
Oh, no.
And getting the JD, but this is going to be huge for Elissimo.
Exactly. He's just gonna take the buffet right now. However, trying to go for the taco. He smartly goes for the back throw instead of the neutral hop. Okay. Oh, unfortunate.
Yep, really good use of the quick special out of the Just Defend guard cancel. So
Yeah.
Green Tea with the Kim Dong Hwan taking the 1-0 lead over Lokof right there. But again, it was a really good game one on both players' parts. It was just it was just a really good way to implement what makes Kim strong in the right spots with that JDGC quick option to burn through the pressure that Lokof was trying to represent. And then also using the really good jump placements with both up close when doing close quarters offense and then going right over the Kohoken and getting that wild punish. So good stuff by Green Tea.
I think that match was a match of who can handle the intensity more. Which is very appropriate because we are in Burning Geese Tower.
Oh, that is a tough. Oh, but even tougher getting the whiffing on the full punish right there. But we're going to get it right back here. Another whiff right there. So a little bit of a scrambly situation there has Lokof being really aggressive with the DPs. And now that they're trying to settle themselves back down, they get thrown for their troubles. Green Tea now trying to chase them down, but we mash on out after we roll out to A. So we are trading some blows right here. And then the level 1.
Very nice. Now he's in SPG territory, though. You have to worry about that. Oh, gets a hard knockdown. There's going to be a chance. Yes, he baited out. He was like, yo, I'm going to pretend to throw him. And you are going to feel like it. You're going to feel bad after this, my friend.
That was also really cool too, because in a very similar spot in that game one, Green Tea threatened that immediate mid-range by just doing the run-up sweep. So Lokof, even on the second interaction, similar to that, was just out of the way of the sweep and then did EX Tatsu to go over it. Even though it wasn't a full punish, it still granted him the advantage to close the round. So that was a really good adjustment by Lokof in just the smallest of interactions. And you're seeing that they're still holding forward after getting the level 1 token one more time.
Just gonna have to take this using the rev guard. Oh. Tricky stuff. He changes timing. Now what? Catches him in the air. Just a simple conversion.
Unbelievable. The air-to-air working out for Lokof. Really good stuff there in game 2. The adjustments made in proper and then capitalizing on everything around that. Green Tea now going to have to think what they can do in response right now as we get into game 3. Again, we're not going to a game 5. This is it. This is all you get. So what can Green Tea offer Lokof that's going to make him look a different way? But Lokof right now with the momentum.
I mean, barring the matches that follow up afterwards, I think this is a contender for match of the night right now. Like this is like real high stakes tension feeling, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We just came off of a really strong winners final set.
Exactly.
But I remember after that, somebody in chat was just like, yeah, this is going to be one hell of a set. And they absolutely were right. The prediction of that was very good. I hope they put channel points on this as well because they were very on point with that initial prediction. Can they predict the winner of this? I couldn't because the back and forth between these two has been amazing. And it's going to continue right now with the anti-air DP. Not going to be able to punish the whiff on the throw because we rolled it too far out of there, but we returned back to the ambiguous spacing, but the DP on the other end from Kim.
I'm really loving that, you know, right now they are only availing opportunities for not as much damage as they would like. And that's just speaks volumes as to how the movement is going on right now. Look at the way he shimmied that. He was like, yo, I'm just going to use the pushback and then just catch you and you think you are out of there.
Yep, trying to run out of the corner there. So they knew that they were going to try, or they banked on them going for a grounded approach to get on out of there. And Katsu, really good way to cover that. And now we're going to get even more. And now that we get that hard knockdown, level 1, SPG is active. So we will see if we can get rev blow. And again, running out of the corner on the big jump there from Marco. That has been something that Green Tea has done very well in this run so far. But Marco doing something similar. The jump, the air-to-air has been working out very well for them. Oh,
yeah, Green Tea has been taking advantage of those trip card punishes. He's been the bulk of his damage so far. Right now trying to go in for the tricky stuff, but great way for that evasion. Just jump back and let it hang.
Yep, absolutely. Lokof going to take it 2-1 with the Marco over the Dong Hwan. Great showing by Green Tea to go out at 4th, however. Very strong performance from them. But Lokof, with that EX Tatsu placement, especially in the later games, the later rounds, was so freaking smart, because it escapes me right now. Look, we've seen so many matches. We're almost at hour 4.
Yeah.
So you'll have to forgive us a little bit. One of us is actually at like 6 a.m. So it is a little bit of a mental war that we're facing right now. But we are up and at 'em for our losers.
They don't put that evil on me.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm
good.
giving you a way out. I'm giving you a way out. I'm giving you a way out.
No, don't ever do that. I will tank it. You know, this is how we work. You know, we have these players that work so hard, us commentators, trying to put it in. But right now, look at the way that AR Robert just taking advantage of that cross up, doing so much damage.
Here we go, though, but we got a really good corner positioning right now to get that strike throw going. Gonna go into the overhead. Gonna get the universal overhead to go into the EX Tatsu. Hard knockdown and then just run up. A familiar sequence, but still scary nonetheless. Just to dash up into the crouching kick. And that is going to be Lokof clawing things out from the jaws of defeat to get that round 1 victory.
I think that feint was something that really messed with Robert, because that was exactly the point that he needed for that crazy BT hit for that final combo.
Robert now being able to get something started once again. Had the early advantage in that first round, but wasn't able to close it out. So trying to get a little bit more mileage here and a little bit more consistency in doing so. But we're just keep resetting back into this neutral space, and Lokof doing a great job navigating it, but trying to run up with the 2A as quick as that button is not quick enough to beat a level 1. So Robert going to be able to bust out.
Little bit of that stuffing action going on right now. Just keeping it simple. Catches him on the landing. Doesn't go for the full combo. Interesting. Oh, the supreme confidence for that button placement on Wake Up. Either great reactions or just supreme confidence. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Lokof doing a really good job playing around the air stall and then just kind of walking right underneath it, and then just boom, getting the wild punish on the other end. That's been something that we've seen as counterplay consistently for Hoku in this tournament and other tournaments. So being able to employ that effectively is crazy.
Marco versus Hokutomaru.
Hey, thanks, Bruno. All for the love of the game, you know? That's just what it is. I just want to be part of the community and just enjoy the way that, like, you know, you get to... It's different when you are seeing it firsthand as a commentator, you know what I mean? That's why, like, you know, you can watch it as an audience, but sometimes when you are able to provide commentary and be able to, you know, we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, we go right into the match right now. A lot of defensive play on hand right now. The way that Lokof not getting caught in those high combo situations. However, Robert gets the first real blow getting out of the SPG range.
Dude, the movement by Lokof has been so key, but good frame trap here by Robert to catch the mashing, go to the level 1. Of course we do. No SPG on the table, so there's going to be a lot of holding to be done short of a DP. Or we just mash out with a 2A and confirm it into another level 1. Lokof go. Oh, now as I was going to say it, got to be able to get something started. But Yes, sir. The backdash reading the run-up throw. Good stuff there from Robert.
Yeah, like the way that he just caught him right there. He was like catching him in his own game. That's the thing. You could see the skill levels just lining up, you know what I mean?
100%. It's very crucial to be able to compete well at different paces of the game. Oh, and like we saw there, to open the game, Lokof did the DP to catch them in the air, and Robert adjusting, like you were saying, being able to play that game, just being right outside the range of that DP and catch the punish on the other side. So that is going to be what enables them to get that game 2 victory. So really great stuff there, adjusting the arc of the jump and the spacing to be able to bait out the DP there from Lokof.
I gotta say though, who has ever heard of somebody gaining a hairline as they got older?
It's called Rogaine.
I mean, you know, Hokutomaru had a big big forehead in the previous game, and now he's just like, yo, look, I got the ticker tape going on.
Yeah, I got the fade going right now. I learned that from Andy. Got it too. That you see, Andy and them are sharing that right now. As the games get older, they're getting the hair slicked back a little bit better.
That's true. That's true. That's right. And that 14 forehead.
It was something else, I'll tell you what. But something else is Lokof right now with this corner pressure. But as I say that, mistiming the whatever button they were going to get out, and they got back thrown for their troubles. So Robert now going to be able to get the corner combo as well. Another swift 2A challenge there from Lokof. We're going to see if Robert is a little bit more keen to stuffing that as we go forward, because that has been a popular option for Lokof when they're put in those situations in the corner.
Okay, I am loving this. You see the way that he is being very patient. Like, when he was just standing there in the corner, that was like just the tip of the iceberg, but then he got that little shimmy in right there. Sadly, not able to finish it off, and Lokof just getting the stray hit into the Hao Shoken.
Checking on the throw there. Once again, getting a good bait or a good beat on the run-up throw. So potentially could look out for Lokof switching it up and going right back into the feint or the feint dash into the 2B once again. Now trying to look for that same conversion off of the wild punish, but canceled into the level 1. Very curious to see what happened there, but Lokof going to take full advantage of that. And yeah, just like I said, dash up into the 2B rather than going into the throw, but Robert being very disciplined defensively.
Yep, Jabu trying to keep him out. However, AR Robert taking advantage of the spacing, going for the cross up. Big damage here. Now he's just gonna have to. Oh, he's trying to go for the throw. Sneaky, but he gets hit for his troubles.
All right, walking right back out, so it's a little bit less threatening, making Marco come to him. Now going for the EX teleport, betting it all, putting them into overheat, and just saying, hey, I don't know if you're going to be able to just defend in a time for the special cancel. And Robert going to get the second round here in game 3.
All right, just a very measured approach right now. Oh no! Oh no! It was that moment that he knew.
Oh my gosh, and mess up you did. Oh, unfortunately you messed up on the corner confirmed as well, so it gave them a chance to get out, but great match into the level 2.
Yeah.
So good with these light confirms. Lokof, the consistency right now, but what's consistent is always getting clocked by that teleport counter hit. Gonna give Robert some time, run up into the throw, disrespecting any 2A challenge. Looking for it right there, but not gonna be able to do it. Counter hit, air to air, gonna get the full confirm as well. Level 1 in the back pocket if they show choose to spend it, they will. Is it enough to kill? It is not.
No,
Just
not
a
yet.
sliver of health.
Okay.
Gonna match that with a 2A, but the EX once again gonna work out for Lokof.
He called him out just like that. Lokof going into the ground. Wait, please don't update the score so I can feel good about myself.
Oh man.
Yeah, just one more. Yeah,
Just one more. Oh my gosh, Lokof, man, just doing the darn thing. Robert was definitely pushing him to the edge, but Lokof just finding the right time to get on out of there. And again, the EX Tatsu, a really good burst option, very safe, very very fast, so tough to sort of anticipate that. But if you're not ready and you're just caught holding forward, walking, that'll happen to you.
You know, Yurikov putting it all on Robert right now. He's like, if he loses, Hokutomaru is low here. It's wild. Oh no.
All right. Just spins on red skin. Very good stuff right there. And then the teleport right there. Nothing low tier about that tool right there. Getting the punish on the fireball. Going to go into the break, but we challenge once again that 2A. Very popular tool being used by Lokof right there to get out of pressure. Very quick button, I will say. So not a miss in using it. Just going to be something to see if Robert is going to do a good job of calling out. But good call out on the jump with the heavy DP. Oh, but we do it again and get right out of harm's way. Great spacing once again. The adjustment similar to what we saw in game 2. Great cash out into the level 1 as well to shorten up the round.
Okay. Now they're just going for the fireball wars. You have to worry about Lokov's fireballs because he has been caught several times. However, that is exactly why he just closed in the distance. I feel like the first fireball was definitely one of those things just to throw him off as he gets in and gets in that combo.
Oh, that hitting gear is so cool. And we're still on SPG, so we just run up into the Zana Redskin. Lokof just saying, you gotta deal with me. I got you for as long as I need you right now. I forgot the quote. I am so sorry.
You're playing Hokutomaru, but I'm the problem. Good throw rate.
He's definitely a problem right now.
He turned the game on him. The guy was like, yo, you're gonna throw fireballs. No, you're the one throwing fireballs. I'm catching you. You're dead.
Trying to go for an air-to-air, but Hoku's just being right above the JD right there. So Robert going to be able to just float right back down to the ground and put them into the corner. Catching them, dashing out that 2C. Very strong button and catching the ground approach right there. Catching out into the level 1. Going to go into a couple of elbows. And
oh my god,
the lows into the level 1.
Yo, using the elbow to go right into that low? Dude, that is disrespect. Adults, right? That is disrespect right there.
Personally, I kind of think it brings out the worst.
Holy, yeah. Yurikov mentioning the moment where he countered the rev blow with Marco is so strong. Lokof doing a really good job of adapting to what Robert has been representing, but Robert still being able to match him in that aspect and getting the advantage to put themselves in that corner game, which has been very strong for them. Just going to get that walk up into the 2B, confirm it into the level 1. And now we are at game 5 Felicissimo. This is everything that you could ask for in a loser's final between these two.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's just banger after banger where Lokof is involved right now. Like, you know, it's not just the novelty of the character choice, it's just the way he's playing. And look at that! Look at the way he just went for that setup! That was insane!
Oh, but we answer with a little bit of aggression there, rolling out and then just saying nuts to that. I'm going to throw out some buttons right here. Good tech on the throw there by Lokof, but Robert slowly pushing Lokof into the corner. Just trying to walk out, trying to get the shimmy, but nothing doing. Lokof remaining stout defensively. No 2A, no throw on that end, but Robert still going to be able to find an opportunity if they so choose to catch out to the level 1. Got the wild punish a couple times. Got it again, but didn't want to confirm into anything. Just wasn't quite ready, I assume. So Lokof has a chance at life.
Catches him. There we go. The EX teleport, like we were talking about earlier. Like he pulls it out so infrequently, but it's just like those crucial moments. Oh man, no chance. Just out of the gates, bat out of hell. catches the DP, gets some light punish out of it, but probably because of the spacing.
Wild punish anti-air, and then the frame kill into the throw to keep Lokof guessing. Robert now doing something a little bit different here, trying to catch a mash. Got it with the shurikens, but not going to be able to do too much other than that, but still giving Lokof a couple of different flavors to sample from the tray here. Not trying to jump on out of there. Good just defend on the anti-air attempt, because that would have been a disastrous wild punish.
Ooh, frame kill right there. Going for the low right after the whiff. Oh, there we go. Just taking has always paid off being able to go for those far normal. Ooh, just catches him.
The level 1 sniped Hoku out of the air. That's crazy, but the EX Tatsu gonna catch them trying to backdash, and Lokof fighting back here, shirt off. I mean business right now, and we are going to the final round of game 5.
Exactly. Oh no, what a great way to start this for Robert. Just out of SPG range, now thrown out of it. Damn.
Okay. Oh, the frame trap right now in SPGs, so they have access to hidden gear, can cash out all they want to, and I believe this might be enough to do it. Robert in an absolute barn burner, going to win it over Lokof in a stylish and cinematic fashion, because that set was nothing short of a movie between those two. A 3-2 victory to secure grand finals loser side. Hokutomaru is going back into the fray against Shadow X. Who is going to take it out? Again, Shadow X is in winner side, so they just got to win the 1 set. And Hoku and Robert are going to need to win 2 to take it away. So let us go.
Yeah, right now we have Robert in the loser side taking on Shadow X. We've been dominant throughout this entire tournament. So many good plays with his Rock Howard, being able to take advantage of like his rev blow, being able to just throw out those Shinkunages. And right now, just dishing out the damage.
Oh, but a well-timed jump over the fireball, the rev guard to give them the spacing to buy them a little bit more time, get that wild punish. And that's been something that Robert was really good that I forgot to mention in the set against Lokof. The rev guard placements were sublime in being able to create the spacing that they needed to get the proper advantage that they needed to reinitiate offense. And here we go. Now we get the wild punish anti-air, and we can go into a level 1 if we so want to, but the level 1 will be used in the reversal fashion from Shadow X, Raging Storm at the right time.
Damn. He was like, no. Got me snorting over there. But yeah, here we go. Gentle string going in. Oh no, just another Raging Storm?
This is the Shadow X special right here. Oh my goodness. You love to see it. Just absolutely paying them no heed, no mind, saying, I'm here to have a good time. We're going to get our reversal level 1. We're going to get our Shinku Nagas, but Robert, not take too kindly with that. Fighting out, doing a very good job here, able to cash out into the level 1 as well. Another level 1 in the back pocket if they so choose. Just defend, guard cancel, but not going to be able to do too much after that, but we're still fighting our way out. The cross up on the other side with the far C, not going to work out. Shinku Naga going to get dodged, but no full punish right there, but it's okay. Robert got the light confirm that they needed to take that round.
Robert not gonna let the mind games of Shadow X overwhelm him. Definitely not going to allow him to get away with another Shinkunage. Oh man, takes him to the corner. Wild punish.
Great backdash on the throw there from Shadow X, trying to cover that and the command grab as well. You got to know that you got to be looking out for it, but we were looking out for the throw on the other end, saying, I like to do a little bit of throws, so I know what you want when it's coming to you. And now I'm just going to backdash in the far so you get the full wild punish, but again, taking a page out of the other character's book. But rev blow as a reversal, going to take game 1 for Shadow X.
Absolutely, definitely. Robert trying to find those gaps, trying to stop the audacity of Shadow X. Shadow X is very good at making you think he's doing risky play, like, going for those raging storms, for example, but then just hits you with making you feel like that false sense of security becomes your downfall.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. The funny thing about that is you're absolutely right in that assessment, but from the jump, there was very much Shadow X just saying, yeah, you're not safe when I feel there's any gap right here. If I have a chance to do a level 1, I'm gonna do it. So already putting that in the back of your mind early and then kind of slowing up on it towards the end, like you were saying, creating that security, and then Shadow X just being like, nah, I'm just gonna do level 1 once again. And it's just a back and forth right there, which is just such a good mind game that Shadow X can play with you. When you're a grappler, you have to have access to the mind game mastery, and that's what Shadow X has currently. But what Robert has currently is the health lead, a good amount of healthy interaction.
That you said that. You're just like, you're talking about the grappler mentality, and it's just,
you gotta have it. You gotta have it.
Considering that Rock is he might as well just be a grappler.
I mean, the way Shadow X is playing him, I gotta be right.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Yeah.
Level 1 Raging Storm once again.
Oh no! Great save time save jump setup with that. And completely ambiguous as well.
JC to meet him up in the air. Great counter on the rev blow. I believe that was a 2C that was able, well, not 2C. It was, I gotta go back and make sure I read that right, but they were able to get the right, that was high dodge. That was an evade attack.
Okay. Oh. Absolute dominance right there from Shadow X. AR Robert on the ropes right now. 2-0 for Shadow X. Will it be a clean sweep, or will we see the comeback into the reset?
Strong stuff there. Yeah, absolute dominance is the absolute key word there being used by you. It's just like, it felt like Shadow X had an answer for everything. Once they answered that rev blow with the evade attack, it was just like, all right, man, that is crazy. So Shadow X now sitting at 1 game before they could claim the throne for Just Frame. Robert gonna have to run 3 games back, and it doesn't look like they have any intentions of shifting off of the Hokutomaru. So they are locked in, and we are locked in here for game 3.
Oh man, the double run under right into the Shinkunage, bro. Why? Why are you being so mean?
I love Moonlights in the chat being like, he grabbed his ass from 2 football fields away, and me from Southtown patch of KOF first time.
Damn. Oh no. Oh, the little stuff. Right now. Go for the tricky stuff. Like no punish, no consequence. Just okay. There we go.
Baby. Just gonna run up into the low here, gonna cash out into the level 1, confirm here. Shadow X fighting out against an overheated Hoku, so they can be a little bit more aggressive here because EX teleport is not in the back, but normal teleport is.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna get the block and then go into that, get the normal throw as well to catch the rev blow start up of Shadow X. Hyper defense though on the heavy special, and Shadow X now at tournament point. Fredissimo.
I really need to see Robert turn it down. But right now he got a good start with the crouching lows, catches him. However, he tried to make a little bit of space and paid for it. Oh man, this is gonna be very, very much a struggle. Watching the way that AR Robert getting stuffed at every turn.
Oh, here we go, air throw right there, because we would usually see Rock beat him up in the air with the JC or the JB. So that's really good stuff right there. So Robert turning the tables right now, finding an answer to what they're using to answer the air stall from Hoku. And the level 1 not gonna quite kill, but put them at a dangerous territory where Chip will kill, or just a swift kick to the sternum right there in the far B.
Yeah. That was definitely the right call. No overextending for that part. However, 1 round.
Oh, that was a hyper defense attempt that went wrong there for Shadow X. Unfortunate there. Wanted a little bit more of a punish opportunity than what would have been otherwise allotted to them, but we're feeling good and we're feeling great as Robert. The counter rev blow there against Shadow X, but the JD guard cancel once again from Shadow X.
I feel like AR Robert is definitely playing coy right now. Like, you can definitely see he is doing a lot of running in, but at the same time, he's just picking his spots. He's not actually trying to overextend.
Yeah, great stuff there. The donut is indeed denied, and that is a one-game addition to the set count in Robert's favor. And I do love what you pointed out, Felicimo, that they were being a lot more selective in picking their spots because they noticed that Shadow X, especially in that last game and a lot more in this game as well, was just not biting on any of the air stall action except for going up to meet them with like a JC or a JA, or sorry, a JD or a JA. It was very much just, I'm gonna wait for you to come down. If you teleport, it is what it is. I'll block it, and then we'll deal with the throw, especially if I have the health lead. So Robert was basically just being like, you know what? I'm not gonna be baited into overly committing. I'm just going to, like you said, be a little bit slower, a little bit more selective in what I'm gonna use as my approach.
Yeah, I can definitely see that right now. Just going for those shuriken distances. Taking those opportunities to go for teleports. And most importantly, actually, I feel like that SPG rev blow has been quite beneficial for the type that dictates the round for AR Robert.
Absolutely, but that punish opportunity was tough because they got the DP that they didn't really need there, so that was a full whip punish there for Hoku, and now Shadow X
frame
is
trap.
going to be but we fight out.
This string has been a bit of a problem for Shadow X in this match.
Oh no! What HAC clocking them as they both go right back down to earth. But a wild punish on the missed time to 2B from Shadow X. So meaty not really working out for them there, and Robert taking full advantage there to get out of the corner. Now just run up into the normal throw.
Interesting, going for the just defend right into the full combo, but air throw, trying to establish the pace. You can see a lot of the command jumps that AR Robert has been doing has either been neutral or to the back, jump back.
Ooh, overheat on the table because the just defend rev blow didn't quite work out for Robert. So not going to have access to what they have in the back pocket with the SPG, but the far C punish is going to work out though. Got the normal or the meterless confirm as well. Good awareness on the part of knowing that you're in overheat, so you can't quite go into the same routing as normal. So Shadow X once again at tournament point.
Yeah, you saw that one time that AR Robert tried to go for command jump into offense and it just didn't pay out. Oh, but look at the way he's dealing all this damage. More than half health gone.
We bet it all on the rising tackle, and now we got the wild punish on the far C. We're gonna cancel into hidden gear, get the cooldown as well while we're in SPG. Robert not gonna have any chance to have SPG as well, but they do have 2 bars in the back should they get a good hit. But Shadow X in a very good spot right now.
Oh no, the neutral jump again. Nearly got him again that time. It's just a wall right now. Oh my god! There we go. Gets the stand C. Oh, just gonna end it. Not quite yet.
Just defend on the air shuriken. That was so crucial, but can't quite get it on the ground shuriken. Robert taking game 4. We're just as quickly as they went down 0-2, they bring it to a game 5. Once again, Robert absolutely clutch with the counter hit anti-air, and then the shurikens to play it safe and dare Shadow X to mess up on the just defend.
That shuriken was definitely either a call out or just like mad reactions, because Shadow X with that backdash probably got caught. I don't think it was just of an attempt. But yeah, that was... Okay. Game 5, here we go.
This is going to be an absolute show. I mean, it already is, but it has the potential to get even better right now. Game 5 between these two once again. Robert looking for the reset. Shadow X just trying to get off this game and just say, I need to win immediately. But Robert definitely making them work for it, and they continue to work for it with these well-placed anti-air punishes right there and getting the full routing as well.
Yeah, especially the way that you can just close the distance with all those forward moving attacks. However, just trying to keep him overwhelmed. Right now, AR Robert just throwing out cautionary shurikens. However, the Farce AP's dividends, no, just a bit too far. Maybe a bit of an input error.
They caught the run up with the 2B and canceled it into a full light confirm to take the round there. So again, Shadow X, third time at tournament point, but Robert has remained steady in the face of such adversity and still continues to do so, backing out of the range of the throw and then getting the wild punish 2B combo, looking for another wild punish on the throw there with the walk back, but nothing doing. Shadow X remaining disciplined defensively.
Yeah, Shadow X definitely tried to parry all of those hits to just defense. However, catches him on the teleport. Now he's gonna try to keep him on the meaty. He goes for the hard knock. Let's see. Gonna try to catch him on the roll. No, doesn't get it. Gets stopped instead.
Oh, the level 1's gonna whiff, however. That is so unfortunate for Robert. Had a really good chance at a more advantageous hard knockdown, but just still got the hard knockdown after the end of the EX special. What a course! We reset into the Shikunage! Even after the tap to the toe, we cancel into what we know best. Dude. How else can we end it? Shadow X is your Just Frame Fatal Frame #4 champion with the command grab from Mr. Rock Howard.
Guys, Shadow X didn't just play AR Robert on that, okay? He played all of us. Did you notice that it was like kind of ages since he did a Shikunage?
He was just waiting.
Did you notice?
He was, hey, I was just like, there were some points where he would walk up and it looked like he was kind of buffering it. And I was just like, he's looking for this. He's absolutely looking for this.